That actually would have been a sick
next
joke
level.
if you hadn't said anything.
You know, if
but now you kind of ruined it.
If we
No,
get
they don't
another
watch
Game
this.
5 in the Grand Finals, I wonder at what point does Arc Warden come into play? Like, is he
He's
territory for worst hero? Like, is he worse than Gyro right now?
Yeah, he's far worse than Gyro. I mean, Alliance was first picking Gyro in half their games.
Well, that's a fair point, Grant. Alliance also was eliminated.
That's
Yeah,
true.
well, okay.
but not first.
No team
very
that has
true.
picked Arc Warden has been eliminated from this tournament.
Fact.
Fact.
Nyx Assassin. Okay, it's a little change of pace, though. We haven't seen old Nixie too much. I don't think he's been banned at all from the community, that is.
Yeah.
He's a strong hero.
Strong independent bug.
Darn tootin', Trent.
Hey, do you guys know where Nyx Assassin's eyes are?
No.
Where?
So if you look at the top, behind the top mandible, there's a tiny black dot. And he has a little eye there. Pretty neat.
Radiant team dire.
Really?
He does?
No, I'm not lying. Look it up. Look it up, Mott. Bring up a picture of Nyx's model. He's got-
I have the draft up. I can't.
Doesn't
Bring up a different
Oh,
screen.
I'm gonna have to bring up my client
isn't there
and take
like
a look
a
at
whole graphic or an item that makes it a Dagon up on his head?
It does.
Well, then how do
this.
you?
We're talking about eyes here.
We're talking about his wee little peepers
seconds
beneath the
remaining.
top mandibles.
You can't see it on the
Oh.
portrait here, though,
Radiant
right?
team
Oh,
banned.
yes, you can.
Where are
Yes,
Io's
they're Right
eyes?
there.
I called it.
A
Wiz.
bold prediction, Grant.
All right, anyway. So
Flax, where are Io's eyes? Is that in the lore?
Io does not have eyes. He is
That's-
all-seeing and all-knowing.
Oh.
So his eyes
So why
are
does he
much
have to turn?
So he's like a bat. So why does he have to turn?
Because sometimes the Lord turns his
10
back on
seconds
us.
remaining.
Jesus.
You should know this.
5 seconds remaining.
That's
Well
why
said.
you were born. All right, anyway. Vengeful Spirit of
Reserve
Doom
time.
picked up.
I'd love to see, even though it's not complexity, I'd love to see that bristle.
Ooh,
Oh, you want to see that again?
the bristle
I
wisp.
do.
Dire
Yeah.
team banned.
Tiny going to be banned out as well. Great call, guys. A
Radiant
lot of
team
utility there,
banned.
as well as the Lycan. No surprise.
Dire
Pretty
team
good
And
goddamn
the
hero.
CK. Another classic
flying
wisp
through.
pairing.
Yep.
Hey guys, there's still the Ursa Bear.
Ben was he voted out?
Sven was voted out.
Yep.
Oh,
I
we
think his
lost
first
Sven.
day. First day kicked out.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's too bad.
He didn't make
Bad
it on
life.
the list of handsome Dota
10
player or Dota
seconds
heroes.
remaining.
No, he did not. Poor guy.
I'd like to
Single
see a
father.
5
Bloodseeker
seconds
today.
remaining.
I'm sure we will, actually. I don't think that that's too far off. We did see Bloodseeker
Kind of
earlier
NA.
in the tournament.
Reserve
Not the
time.
most impressive showing, but
I mean, he's definitely Game 3 material. We're
Sure.
so light on Agi
He's such a
cores
great
here.
position 4 hero. I love that like half jungling coming out of the jungle with the Dagon build. Good
Yep.
stuff. The Jerax style.
such utility with his Q, too. Being able to heal up allies and stuff. A lot of teams underutilize that, but it's super good in team fights if you use it correctly. Also,
You know, I'd
good-
love to see
What?
Flax. I'd love to see Rubik, Wyvern, and Wind Ranger this game.
Yeah, well,
I think it would really
All
round out
three
once its
get
roster.
picked.
welcome to every pub ever. You know what pisses me off is whenever I have fan games on my stream, my team is always, they pick those 3 heroes on my team every fucking time just to trigger me. Why? Why?
Because they hate you.
I believe it's the response that you're giving right now.
Yeah, exactly. If you didn't make
I
it so
just
obvious
embraced
you
it?
hate these heroes, they would never be picked.
I gotta say though, I'm starting to get into the Wyvern train. I think she's coming back.
Really?
She was
Wow.
never gone.
She
Change
was
of
gone.
heart.
She was fucking
Well,
gone.
she
Daddy
did have a
moved
bad
on.
win rate at the major.
Okay,
That's
she had a
definitely true.
lull, but
She was very
I
gone.
think the lull was much shorter than the period in which Slacks hated her.
In this new meta, where Troll Warlord is pretty good, Wyvern is not a bad choice, honestly.
Uh-huh.
And Legion Commander is starting to get really popular. She's very good at that as well. So she coming off the shit list real quick. Anyway, taking their sweet time with this one. We're already in the reserve time here. 40 seconds left, and this is just their ban. What's going on, Wanted? Who are you
My
scared of?
goodness.
I think they're
They're
looking
trying to
at their
figure out what
Dota
this
buffs.
Doom's doing. They're looking at him. They're like, "Where's he gonna go? How he's gonna be rich if he's support? He's gonna be rich if he's a
Radiant's team.
Is
core.
that an IX Mike special?
I don't believe so, but he's played
Who
it.
knows?
So it could be a 1 then, right?
It could be a BSJ, could be an Ix Mike, could be a Loki 57. There, Freedom. What a great first 2 picks. It could even be a Venge carry.
Yeah,
we
it
saw
could
be
BSJ's
Venge,
played
that's
it quite
true.
a few times too.
Cards are being held to the chest, boys.
10
Yeah, this is
seconds
excellent. It's
remaining.
like they're playing. You know the game Hearts?
Yes.
Yes.
They're shooting the
5
moon.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, definitely. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
There's our Hearts banter, guys. All you Hearts fans out there.
Hearts
all you
aficionados.
80-year-old grandmas out there watching Elimination mode.
Magnus is a strange band though. Like of all the heroes to you burn all that reserve time on.
I have
Oh,
to
that
agree
hero's
with
so
you.
good.
He's really good.
Plus-
but he's,
Do you think they
IO
were
plus
afraid
one.
of like an empowered Doom on position 1 with all the farming tools? Like, do you
No.
imagine
You're
Doom with a
guaranteed to be
cleave?
grouped because you have an
Riot
IO,
team
right?
pick.
So makes Magnus
Oh,
even
Okay.
better.
That's fair.
This is an old NA special right here.
The Razor.
Pretty
Racer.
good against IO as well. People tethered up, hit them with plasma fields and whatnot.
oh, dude, pretty good with any kind of the cores too. You know,
Mm-hmm.
build some time, build some space. Razor is so good at just running around and making people want to
10
kill his ass.
seconds remaining.
It's hilarious. So Razor's in. How do you answer that
5
trend?
seconds
What do you pick
remaining.
here? They got a lot of guys that are moving around pretty quick, doing a bunch of stupid
Radiant
shit.
team
And
pick.
Centaur
Oh.
will keep 'em.
You can all move quick and do
There-
stupid shit.
There you go. Great answer.
Great hero.
But
This is great.
we did see the Boris Centaur yesterday, correct? And it was
Yeah, but
not,
where's this Knicks going?
it was
now?
not
Is the-
palpable. Is that the word?
Is this a mid
Support
Knicks?
Knicks.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a-
This,
it
is,
has
this
to
would
be-
be like the worst position 4 Knicks ever.
Seconds remaining.
If you have to play position 4 Knicks with an IO, I super pity you.
5
that sounds
seconds
awful.
It could be a
That could
carry
be a
Centaur. We've seen
Carry
that.
Centaur, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Carry
mid
Centaur,
Centaur.
mid Centaur, yeah.
Reserve
Comanche
time.
I was maybe expecting them to leave their position 1 a little bit later, but
Dire
maybe
team
maybe this Razor will just end up going mid and they'll do like off lane Doom, and then we will end up getting that like clinksy
Surprised
late
Rubik
hero.
wasn't picked this game. Thought he could have been decent.
Yeah.
He could still be actually if Wanted want to do it and do like double core with the Knicks and the Centaur. Rubik's definitely the best hero left with Doom, Sand King, and Venge.
10 seconds
I will say I do
remaining.
like Nyx and Centaur together. It can definitely be helpful in the early game
5
where Nyx can pick up
seconds
kills and then
remaining.
Centaur can help him survive. That's a big deal for
Hey,
Nyx.
listen to the synergy here, guys. Okay, you ready
Reserve
for
time.
it?
I'm ready.
Probably
Nyx.
not.
Invisible because of Vendetta. Centaur ult. That's an invisible slow.
My
Alright.
God.
Whoa!
Keep that. The is amazing.
The
Holy
synergy is
God.
uncanny.
Oh my God!
Radiant team back.
Whoa!
Oh my God!
Eurocopter.
What the
Alright.
fuck? Okay.
In game 1 with a whip. Of all the heroes you could have put with that wisp, they
Holy
picked
shit.
Is
Gyro.
that is this a mid gyro maxing homing missile?
It is. This is the support gyro, guys. Sam
just said
King-
mid.
Support. It's the mid.
It's
Mid
the
gyro.
Easy mid support gyro. He needs the early levels on missile.
Yes.
Then he's going to
Mhm.
change lanes, put those missiles on whatever Sand King's in, ruin his early game. Razor
Reserve
gets fucked.
time.
It's going to be a 3x missile maxing gyro.
Or wait,
Genius.
I recall Alliance 3 years ago played a support gyro. Actually. Maybe
they
they'll do it
win?
Again. No, they lost. No, it was terrible.
Dire
Thank you,
team
Greg.
back.
You're welcome.
3 years ago.
In my day, this was terrible even back then.
All right. Pudge, 5th ban here out of Freedom. Wanted. One more left. They've got a lot of flexibility with these lanes on Wanted's side.
Yeah, both teams do honestly.
Yeah,
Freedom.
10
I have no
seconds
idea what
remaining.
positions any of these heroes are. other
Yeah,
than
that's
Razor.
true. Actually, with Freedom, it could be a
5
core
seconds
Venge. It could be
remaining.
a mid Doom. It could be a jungling Doom. Who the fuck knows?
I think this actually
Dire
is going to be
team
a BSJ Doom, more than likely, with
Ooh.
Sand King in the off lane, and then they're going to last pick as support. But they don't think so. They Wanted bans out another carry, so maybe I'm just wrong. Hope
How about
not.
they just go full greed and pick Enigma versus Io? Let's see it finally.
Why would
The
anyone do
black
that?
hole.
Seconds remaining.
Why?
Sounds
Why?
terrible.
Out of all the heroes to
5
counter Io
seconds
with, why would you
remaining.
choose Enigma?
Why don't they just take Disruptor?
You don't think? Yeah, Disruptor's there too. You don't think Enigma's good
Reserve
against Io?
time.
I mean, Enigma's
It's okay.
it's
10 seconds
just as good
remaining.
as anyone else. What makes him good against Io? Am I
It's
confused?
called Black
5
Hole.
seconds
That's
remaining.
good against
Whoa.
anyone, you fucking
You
moron.
black hole
Have you
the
heard of
Loki.
global silence? I heard it's good
Wow.
against Io.
All right.
So they take a third offlaner.
What year is it?
I guess this is gonna be like, is this position 4 Centaur like someone was running the other day?
Or is this just
It better not be.
the weird? I don't know.
Is
This is
this-
I would rather for the Centaur than the Knicks. I feel like you.
What? Excuse me.
All right.
Excuse me, Trent.
so it is support
What?
something.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just telling
disgusting.
you priorities
There
here,
is-
man.
There is no
This-
such
yeah.
thing as support center. It doesn't exist.
This actually
Okay.
looks like an NA Dota pub. Like, it actually just looks like it. They just picked random heroes in the AP draft, and here we go.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
pumped.
they needed some physical, so I kind of like this Freedom draft here, boys. I think they've got a few more options. You've got some good control, some nice spammable stuns, a snowbally mid or safe lane or wherever Razor or TA go.
Yeah. Well, they do have a lot of global presence with Wanted, though. I mean, Io and Gyro can go anywhere after Nick spots them out, and Nature's Prophet can bump up at the end. But
It's
the
true.
question is, who do you pick off on Team Freedom easily? I mean, everybody's kind of tanky. Everybody has kind of an escape mechanism, except for Razor. And
I guess TA, get some dust.
I guess, but if TA gets a good start, she'll just blow up anyone that gets near her. So that would be pretty tough.
When you write, you write.
So who are you guys thinking? You thinking Freedom? With
I'm
those-
actually thinking Freedom. Dare I say?
Do you
I like
see
Freedom's
the
draft
odds
better.
priority?
This is the game, guys.
Get your
GG
bets
Ben.
What do you think, Sunsfan? What are you feeling here, bud?
I see a centaur. I'm sorry. Just gonna have to go with that. Whatever team that is.
So you're going for the team with Gyrocopter and Nature's Prophet.
Middle
correct.
gyro it is.
All right.
Wow.
A bold prediction. Trent, I guess you're siding with the gods over here, Team Freedom.
Freedom. Go Freedom.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick with my gyro support homing missile theory. I
Well,
know-
he's middle.
Yeah, he's gonna go
Oh,
mid,
okay.
max homing missile, and then he'll leave. Trust me, I've seen it, I've done it,
And then
I've
what?
lived it.
Give Wisp the lane or?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Oh,
Oh,
now
okay.
it all comes together. Oh, I get
Yeah, that
it.
makes sense.
Trust
yeah.
me, we'll see it in the highlights tomorrow. I'm gonna put all of my money on max homing missile.
I'm
gyro.
excited to watch Poverty Mode PPD. Like he's playing Earthshaker, but the Fisher is like a third the distance while he's on Nyx here. So
This
that should
looks
be great.
rough.
Yeah, it's looking pretty rough for Wanted, but
Like, good luck, PPD, dude.
yeah, he'll be fine.
We'll
If
see.
anyone can
So
do it,
are-
it's
we're still
Peter.
thinking it's BSJ Doom.
No,
huh?
it's Razor.
That's
No,
Eagle.
BSJ Razor.
And it is
Okay.
support, yeah, support Doom. So he'll get rich quick, much like my comrade 50 Cents, the rapper.
Wow.
My comrade, 50 cents.
Great. Well, we're all going to
Thanks.
get rich if Grant is correct here with our sponsor. We'll see soon. But it looks like the cast is beginning.
Time for us
Yes.
to be quiet. And
Hey!
It is time. Whoa, look at you, Trent. It's time to get into this game. It's going to be Sunsfan and Cinderin, a real treat for this opening series.
Hello?
Hey.
Cinderin?
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah, this is
Oh,
gonna be a real treat.
I have missed your voice. sir.
I'm looking at these picks, and I think this is gonna be a fun game.
Which
So,
team is better?
that's a good question, but a better question is, should I have open mic on in Dota or not?
Yes.
Okay, then I will hold my judgment until.
All right, you just hold it. I'll
Now,
just explain things.
Here we go.
Okay,
Here's
now
the
you're
open
ready.
mic.
Good to go.
So the way I see it, I think Wanted are going to have trouble until they get Blink on either Nyx or the Centaur. I think the Team Freedom lineup is, for me, is a bit more well-rounded with like their ability to just move around and generate kills. Doom and the Sanking and Venge, all three of them are able to move around the map and kill. And if you look at Wanted, what are their setup stunts? It's Impale and it's Hoof Stomp, both of which are difficult to land, right? So if they don't have a good laning stage, I think this could be a really fast game. But if Wanted pull off a good laning stage and get their items, this kind of lineup can snowball like absolute crazy in the mid game. So, yeah, look out for the first 5 minutes, I think, for this one.
Now I'm really sorry that we didn't get to cast any Abaddon, by the way. That's the real NA special. I don't know if you guys. I guess you guys probably don't scrim NA teams, but DC sure does, and every game, literally every single game, has Abaddon. I don't know if you've had the pleasure of going against that, but
It's not that big of a pick in the
Yes.
European scene right now,
Yes,
at
I
least. But
agree.
it's an NA classic. It's like always been a big NA pick, I think. So
it's just IX Mike basically. Doom right now has boots, level 1, and a smoke. What do you think? I mean, he's gonna get Devour, level 1, so he can't do anything until he gets an actual creep. What's the best possible creep that you get here? He went for the troll right now to help jungle.
I think the troll is the best, actually. But then I don't think you should have gone for this item build. If you're starting out as jungle Doom, there's like two routes to take. The one is where you eat a creep and you immediately go to a lane and harass, and the other one is where you farm. And if you're farming, the troll is the best. It's 50 mana cost skeletons, you can farm really fast. But at the same time, you know, this hero has a pretty shit mana pool, you know? 200 mana, you devour a
Yes.
creep, then you have one spell. Bottom, there's trouble.
Oh no, IX Mike!
Oh, they hit
if
the
only
stun.
you were Abaddon! Oh, Chessie getting harassed down. Loki attempting to chase him down with that magic missile. If he gets it off, he's donezo. But the Fog of War working to the favor of Chessie, who's just eating the shit out of these trees, attempting to sprout away, and he's good to go. All right.
Oh,
Very
he was
nicely
real
done.
hungry there.
Yeah, delicious, delicious tangos. So first blood going the way of Wanted, and despite having the quote-unquote worst lineup, they're off to a great start, Cinderin. What the hell?
I don't
Centaur
like
just keep
saying
it
they
fun.
have the worst lineup. I just think it, you
Just
know,
say
it,
it. Just say
it
it.
depends on the timing entirely, to be honest. I think in this game, the fact that they get this bottom first blood should not have happened, and that's a really, really big start for them, because it already brings PPD up to level 3 and then Nyx, who we thought was going to be fairly weak early on. So I agree right now, to me, Freedom's lineup is stronger, but they need to get something done with their early game advantage, just from a draft perspective, else it can very quickly get scary. So, yeah, good start for them. What happened to Ban, by the way? Was it banned, or... did
Oh
nobody
yeah, it
know?
was for. I mean, I was
First ban?
thinking about banning it myself for the Suns ban, but I knew they would ban it already, so there was no point in wasting it. So just put it on Omni Knight, because who wants to see that hero played, honestly, other than the Slacks, of course. Centaur changes lanes, by the way, and is now jungling in some respect, and I think Wanted's getting a lot out of this map right now as far as XP is concerned.
Yeah, so they rotate the Nature's Prophet top. I think they realized that after this first blood bottom, and I believe they saw Doom rotate on this nice ward they have in the Radiant jungle, then they were just like, okay, abandon ship bottom lane, we can't really play our dual lane to its full effect, so now we can just play the Nyx as an offlaner, and we can rotate our heroes around and be a little bit greedy, just take advantage of it. I think this rotation from Wanted is pretty good. And now the Centaur will go and be the offlaner instead, and PPD can now swap lanes. He's buying a TP here, probably going to see him either try for a kill in the mid lane on the TA, or go to top.
Middle lane in the meantime, Rocket Barrage taking off the refraction, but Tomato just goes invis, thanks to the meld, and beats up QO a bit. What do you think of... So, we have a Gyrocopter mid, which we've seen before in this tournament, but they maxed Homing Missile. Obviously, he's maxing Rocket Barrage to take off the refraction.
Yeah.
Do you go more than one in Homing Missile in this lane?
I don't know. I'm not really a gyro mid player. I'm not really a gyro player.
You
at
should
all.
learn. I hear it's a great hero these days.
Yeah, it's really popular. It has like a pick rate of 0% so far, so
Hey, this is the first
It's
game and it was picked. They
certainly
have,
making a splash in the competitive scene nowadays.
this is how it gets started. You've
Yeah.
been here before, Syndrin. You know what
I
the
think
hero
Gyro
of this tournament
situationally-
is, right?
It's situationally good.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I don't know. Homing Missile is a weird
Look at
spell
that.
to run against TA, right? Because if she has Refraction up, it doesn't matter what level it is for the
Right.
damage. It's 0, so...
I think they were planning on going against or they were expecting Razor
there's the
to
rotation.
be the mid. As Gyrocop's getting stunned, but
Nice
there's
stun.
a nice counter stun by Peter Pan. Damn! TP onto the Shrine. PPD only level 4. I don't think he's being able to get out of this in all likelihood if somebody can just get one stun. 19 seconds left on the hurl boulder for the Doom. And PPD, I mean, he's pretty fast. Has good regen. A nice triple impale, but he gets counter stunned by Loki. And the chase will... This is... Okay, space created, even if he
Yeah,
dies.
I was
this is
gonna
nice.
I was gonna say that. Now I don't have to.
You never have to say anything in our cast.
All right,
It's
there
good.
we go.
But
That's
no, anyway.
a 4-man rotation, 3 of which chased him for like 30 or 40 seconds to kill
Yeah.
a position 4 or 5. That's not really worth it for Freedom. They gave away a lot of lane presence there.
JO level 3 with Invis bottled up. Now, we've talked about this before. Heroes being picked in these weird-ass tournaments that we run, and then end up showing up in Captain's mode at some point. You know what the hero is this time? Do you know?
It's not Gyrocopter.
It's not Gyro, that's for
Oh,
sure. We're going to see some
That's a nice
action
TP
mid
from
lane.
Chessie here.
Tomato still has refraction. Here's the counter initiation yet again from Loki and the Doom. Jo getting quite low. Doesn't have the invis anymore, but still has bottle.
Dyer's top
Doom.
tower is under attack.
Couple more right clicks will take him down, but they can't quite catch up as Tomato treed up, and this is going to break things. Actually, this is almost everybody here. It's a 4v4 between the tier 1 and tier 2 mid. Anywho, back to my thought, Syndrin. I know
Yeah.
it's very important that we discuss this.
Absolutely.
The hero is in fact Troll Warlord. What are your thoughts on that bad boy?
I
He has
think it's
been in
a-
almost every series in EM, and he has dominated almost every game.
Yeah, it's a pretty good hero. I don't think it's just a hero, you know, you just pick early in CM now and all of a sudden people are like, oh, we forgot about Troll. But it could be that it brings it back a little bit. I think the hero has been underpicked, so I would agree with that. It's more about what you pick troll with than the hero itself. Oh, Boris is in a lot of trouble. Okay, no stun on him there.
Well, he is Centaur after all. He's gonna attempt
he's
to
dead
TP
here.
out, and the stun from Loki finishes him off. Poor guy. Maybe if he had a different set, he'd be fine. Mid lane, in the meantime, sprouted up. Tomato just eats his way through thanks to the Quelling Blade. Stun from PPD misses. Another rotation from Eagle. I feel like he's TP'd 3 or 4 times already to stop these engagements. And he
It's
still
a
has
nice
a hurl
Calling Blade
boulder.
pickup. Good foresight. I think, you know, some would say it's obvious to do it against Nature's Prophet, but it's still good to see that he realizes that's a big threat to him. Oh, Eagle's dead.
And Eagle taken out by PPD. In the meantime, Razor, BSJ. Wow, he actually got completely dominated. Ice,
Yeah,
Mike, and Loki are gonna shrine up.
Razor is in a little bit of an awkward situation in these engagements because the way you want to play it is obviously have your static link running and run aggressively in and tank up damage and then kill people off with your static link. But this early on, when Gyro is level 5, Rocket Barrage actually deals so much damage that Razor has to yield to Gyro, and he's the guy he wants to drain. At the same time, there's like additional magic damage. There's this really well-leveled Nyx from PPD right now. It's almost level 6, minute 7 as a support.
Look at these stacks.
Spirits, there was a Fury on ulti. He can't tank this right now on Razor. I think he really needs to buy like an infused raindrop and perhaps some cheap stats so that he can survive and get his damage out.
What patch is this? They're taking out like 2 triple stacks, maybe even quad stack here. Oh, it can't be a quad stack, I guess, but a lot of creeps nonetheless, and Team Freedom shows up to the party. Looks like they're going to take out Io pretty easily. Of course, Gyro's already used his ult to farm creeps. He might pay the ultimate price for that, but he's pretty fast with those phase boots. Eagle doesn't have any more spells to use, but the... Wait, what? Oh, that was the Sand King
Caustic Finale,
actually.
Yeah, very nice.
Great passive.
Those kills are actually so important for Freedom. If they would have not got anything out of those stacks being taken, this early game would look pretty grim for them. But this trade-off puts them in a decent position here. I think overall it's fair to say the early game has gone pretty even. However,
Yeah,
with
it's
what
only
I
a
said before the
400
game
gold
started,
lead.
if it goes even, that's good for Wanted, I think. This could have gone way worse for them. They're getting through a hard stage in the game fairly unscathed here.
Yeah, I mean, it's 8.5 minutes in. They're only down by 700 gold. Not too shabby. As we can see a smoke up. QO leading the way with those phase boots in check, along with the ring of Aquila, however you want to say it. Tequila.
Aquila, it's Latin and means eagle. You're welcome.
I prefer Aquila. No,
So you could say,
tequila. Tequila.
Ring of Aquila.
Aquila.
Aquila. I don't know.
That's just like pronouncing your name.
Let's just
Pretty
call
much
it Aquila.
impossible.
Aquila sounds good.
Aquila. Tequila. Aquila. No, I like Aquila. Actually.
Of course
I'm
you would
just
like
gonna
the
make my
worst
own
option.
pronoun-
That's like with everything else.
Well, it's just one of those things, you know. If it sounds right, it's just gonna. I'm just gonna go with
I
it.
used to call it Aquila. Then I learned. Now you learned,
PPD
but you don't
misses
care.
the stun. That's correct. You know me too well. Tomato invisible. And there's the dust. They can easily finish him off.
Well, now he's invisible again.
Yes. Very good observation.
Middle tower is under
As
attack.
top tower is going to be beaten on by the Doom and BSJ Razor. Fortification's up, but they should be able to get this tower. In the meantime, the middle
The
tower
trade
is being
safe
pounded
lane
upon.
towers. This is fairly expectable that this happens with a core Nature's Prophet this early. Very good
Is
at
that a
taking
word?
that safe lane tower.
Top tower has
What was that?
Expectable? Did you say something incorrect?
It's just
Ron?
as much a word as Aquila is. I guess.
That's just wrong pronunciation. It's not just wrong, you know? Anywho, the more
You're
more
just
important
wrong.
thing is
That's
the Tomato
generally
is going to
how it
get
goes.
stunned
Oh,
up by the homing
yep,
missile.
Chessie's dead.
Is he, though?
This is a really fast blink dagger on Ix Mike, all things considered. I don't know why he didn't just stun Epi the Furion on the
He's
rune there.
scared,
I'm
man.
pretty sure that was a kill.
He saw Gyrocop and he's like,
But-
this is a top-tier hero.
I
Don't
don't
wanna
even think
initiate
the
him that.
Gyro was in vision at that point.
It's IX Mike, bro. He knows. on. Give the guy some
I,
credit.
I feel like there might have been a kill there, but there's obviously the Nature's Prophet has Dragon Lance and Raindrops, so maybe he thinks he doesn't have enough damage. I think his team could have maybe caught up in time, but there's also, if he doesn't know Stampede is on cooldown, there's a lot of factors, so fair enough. He's saving the ulti, might want to use a bigger one for a team fight with this Blink Dagger. Unfortunately, he just revealed his Blink Dagger, though, blinking on the Nature's Prophet there, so that element of surprise is kind of gone now. And has a tendency to give at least one, maybe two kills the first time you get a Blink Dagger on a hero like that.
PPD vendetted up. I've been really excited to watch PPD this patch because typically he's so poor and so underleveled, but it's 7.0. You know, he's already level 7, 11 minutes in the game. I don't know if I've ever seen that actually.
I have.
Okay, well, you may
I
have watched.
think I'm just
few
gonna
more
say
games
that
than
I
me.
can't reference any game, but it must
Probably
have
in a
happened.
game they stomped, right?
Yeah.
Typically
most
it's like
likely.
15, 20 minutes in. He's like level 8 or something. Anywho, he is vendetted up. Just giving vision for now, and like you
this-
said, IX Mike
Radiant's
has the
top
blink, and
tower
Boris
is
right
under
now
attack.
he's. Oh wait a second, he had blink queued up, but he went for a hood first. What do you think about that?
It's good. He wants to run in and tank damage for his team so that the others can get their spells off. If he gets blink first and he
Radiant's
blink
top tower
stuns,
is
maybe he gets a
falling.
pick off, but he's gonna die in return. There's so much magic damage on this Radiant lineup. All of their heroes, apart from the TA, have good damage of that type, so I think it's a good choice. It also allows him to farm faster. You can just double edge in the jungle, and it doesn't really cost you anything. Really good build. Now, I don't think Freedom are... You know, they're farming well on this TA, and the Sand King also has really good CS, but they're giving away their towers. They've lost the bottom and the top tier 1 now. This top tier 1 was taken from full HP to 0, and they didn't try to defend it. That's generally a bad sign, especially when you have these items, like Sand King has Blink Dagger, they have good levels and decent farm. Like, you don't want to give towers away and lose map control against a team with this like global presence. They're just going to go to the next tower now, I think. Boris is showing up mid, and Freedom, their heroes are a bit like fragmented around the map. Look at this Doom's positioning, standing alone bottom with no TP, can't really reach anything. They're split around.
There might be some miscommunication. There is a stand-in, mind you.
Radiant's
Loki
middle
playing the
tower
Vengeful
is under
Spirit.
attack.
They're gonna see PPD get stunned up. Doom is available. Then they're gonna dust because he's out of range of the Sentry, and that's gonna be an easy kill going the way of Team Freedom. Still, they're down about 1,000 gold right now, and like you said, Wanted is perfectly fine just farming up for the time being. Boris,
Yeah,
once he
this
gets
kill
blinked,
is
do they get more
gonna
aggressive?
probably
Perhaps?
give them a tier 1 tower mid though. So this is the kind of kills that are really good, where you get some sort of objective as a collateral. But nice call down. They're actually gonna fight them here.
Oh boy, Eagle. He has Doom. Can he get it off? A nice swap, keeping him alive. He's going to attempt to cast it, I assume. There goes onto the gyrocopter, who's just going to right-click away to his heart's content. BSJ dealing some damage, but doesn't look like Team Freedom wants to fight despite the Doom being applied. I'm just going to go Shrine, perhaps.
So BSJ has this Helm of the Dominator. I'm not sure what he dominated. I think he just dominated a melee creep in the mid lane. I think he has to be a little bit more ambitious and get a key kill against this dire lineup. Like something like maybe an Ice Ogre could be nice. Just some extra armor, maybe the move speed creep, maybe a Purge creep.
Oh,
Lots
we
of
got a
options.
double
Jesse?
smoke. They're going to collide! Burrow Strike onto the Sand King. Jail getting very, very low, but staying alive for now. Chessie stuck in the middle of a sandwich of Doom and God knows what other heroes, and he's going to be the first to drop along with the IO. So it's a 2-for-0 as Loki getting quite low. A beautiful triple Burrow Strike from IX Mike and Team Freedom out of nowhere. Just completely team wiped. Wanted. Jesus,
Yeah,
that's
this
without
is-
a Doom.
This is what needed to happen for them, is that they just come together, they force an objective, and Wanted, I don't want to call it take the bait necessarily, but they try to defend their tower while they're a man. Like they weren't in that good of a position to go in for that. And obviously, like we talked about, this Radiant lineup this early on is just extremely powerful compared to the Dire lineup. You just look at the heroes, and if there's one thing the Dire lineup is lacking right now, it's actually damage. Like it's not that easy for them to take these fights. So if I'm Wanted, I'm happy with getting the towers I got early. Just keep split pushing and try to farm up key items, and then eventually you'll get an opportunity later. You saw how difficult it was for them to engage, right? They call down, they stampede, they run in, and it's like, well,
Oh my god. I might vomit here. QO is rushing an Aghanim Scepter. Please explain this to me. Please, please, God, just make sense of this. Please. Are you there? Are you? Alright, so I'm going to explain what this does. As a side gunner, and in my quote-unquote very esteemed and respected Aghanim's list, this is literally the second worst in the entire game.
what's the worst?
The worst is ODs because it doesn't work as intended.
Oh,
It's more
this
of a-
one is worse, man.
I mean, you can argue. Both are, I think these are definitely bottom two, though. But the thing
I
that
think-
doesn't make sense about this is if you're going to get Ags on this hero, you would think it's later once you actually have damage, right?
In my optic about Gyro, there's one situation where you get this item, and that's when your alchemist is full on items.
Yes.
He has given everyone else on the team an axe. He's literally
Including
shitting
himself.
gold, and he's running out of space to put that.
Yes, yes.
And then he gives you an Aghanim Scepter because he's like, okay, else I'm gonna get taxed too much or something like that.
All right, the
That's-
only thing I can think of in this game that makes any remote sense here is that he's expecting to get doomed, so he can attack twice. But the problem with that is just get a Lincoln's, you know? Just get a Lincoln's. It's IX
Oh,
Mike bottom
we don't-
lane. He's gonna get out just fine. Oh my god.
Whoa. Oh, that ain't good.
NA builds. QO is getting in the NA spirit right now. Maybe there's something we don't know.
I don't know. Like, you know, whenever it comes to item builds, I try to keep an open mind, and no, but I'll
No,
be serious
I
here.
understand, but-
When you look at, I think sometimes in commentary, casters are a bit fast to just jump on the, no, they need this item, or no, this item is bad, why isn't he getting this? And then you need to put yourselves in the player's shoes and try to understand what the logic is, but I just don't know. I can't give you a good answer here, because I personally really dislike the item. I think it's very bad. It's good stats, which is nice, but I think there's better choices if you just want stats. Like, the Gyro doesn't really need the mana. You can buy like Sanjin Yasha or Dragonlance, Pike, you know, items like that instead, if you just want the stats. So I don't
would
know
agree.
if QO is thinking of the old Ags here, and he just wants to global call down with the Wisp ganks.
He's gonna
but
find
that
out real
doesn't
quick that he
work
can't do
anymore.
that.
So,
Well, let's say it was the old Ags. Would it be good in this scenario? I mean, it'd be better than this, obviously.
it would be
but
better.
good.
I don't know. I don't think it's a good item on Gyro personally. But we'll see how it works out here for QO. Of course, the more items he gets later, the better it gets. When he starts getting any sort of damage item, it obviously scales with him, so the payoff is better later. But then again, like, what's the logic? Why didn't you buy those first then, and then get this last when it
What's
scales?
the? Do you know the range on the side gunner?
How fast do you farm with this? That's something we didn't talk about. Like, how much
Yeah.
farming speed does it give? Is it like when you go for a farming build-up on another hero, that's like, oh, this farming item isn't that good right now, like Battle Fury on Anti-Mage, and then all of a sudden you show up and you're rich?
PPD tries to scout out the Roche, but they get Aegis. A nice 4-man Impale, though, into a call down. The side gunner, look at how much it's doing! Nothing, essentially. But they're going to get the kill.
Got a
That's
hit
2
off
for
there.
1.
Got the Venge.
And the Sprout on the
Another
BSJ, who still
quelling.
has that Quelling Blade. He's going to be fine for now. And away he gets. So, Wanted, they give up the Aegis, but get 2 kills and trade for 1.
Yeah, so okay, let's just look at Side Gunner.
Yeah.
Every 1.1 seconds, it attacks a random enemy unit in 600 radius, right?
Yes.
What's Gyro's attack speed right now? He hits once every 0.9 seconds. So it's technically a permanent double damage for farming. That's pretty good, right? Like, he can't
Okay.
decide what target gets hit, but targets will get hit all the time. It's pretty much a double damage. It's like plus 80% damage on just random farming right clicks. That's good. The problem with it in fights is that you can't decide what the target is. You need to be in the right position. A lot of the time you want to be out of the range of a lot of heroes and just use Flak Cannon, which hits for 1,000 radius instead of the 600. But just for the purpose of farming, this is like a poor man's Battle Fury, maybe, for Gyro. Like, he will farm faster. I mean, honestly...
No, you're right. I didn't think about that, because typically when I think of this Aghanim Scepter, I'm like, all right, you want to get tons of damage, and then it's like your last item because it procs everything, right? But if you're using it just for farming, it's kind of like a Hand of Midas, kind of.
Yeah, it's
It's
pretty decent. It's a Midas that gives stats, right? So it's
Yeah.
not...
All right, we'll
That's the
reserve
best I've
judgment.
got. It's
we'll
the best
reserve
I've
judgment
got,
until the end of the
Shannon. I can't do
game.
better than that on this.
Yeah, we can just wait until the end of the game and see what happens.
I definitely think he bought it with farming in mind. I don't think he bought it with fighting in mind, because honestly, this item is just not good for that at this stage in the game.
Yeah. All right, well, he gets a Morbid Mask for now for a little bit of lifesteal. Is he going to run right into Loki? Nope. You can see the bounty rune's gone and just jet on out. But you brought up SNY as a potential option for him, perhaps even Razor at some point. What do you think? Do you think the changes to this? Oh, I just want to have some action here. Eagle stuck inside a Sprout, and the magic damage is way too much for him to live through. Can't even get his Doom off. I don't know if Team Freedom still wants to fight this. Tomato, oh my god, the damage is out of control, but Io will live to see another day as Tomato, his refraction is taken off. Kyo cancels TP, is slowed up. They might be able to pick this up, actually.
It was
IX Mike
actually
with a nice
fine, but he
Yules.
thought Sanking had a stun, I think. Oh, nice stun.
Yeah, no burrow strike going to be coming as of yet. Shrine is popped. Kyo still in a lot of trouble, though, and down he goes. So Io gets out, but not the carry. As PPD stuck in the wrong place at the wrong time. Pops the spike carapace, but it only delayed the inevitable. Anyway, SNY. I know you were a fan of this before it was being picked up very consistently back in the day. This is a long time ago at this point. The changes that have been made to the MAME chance, is that enough for it to be picked up again?
I don't know. It's like, it's a slow transition, right? Because the item that you will always compare it to right now is Dragonlance. Dragonlance got nerfed a bit again. Sanjin Yasha got buffed a bit again. I still think Dragonlance is overall most of the time the better purchase, especially because it upgrades into Pike, which is an incredible item still. I think that item is super good. But everything helps, right? It's... I don't know,
So
I still feel like
probably
Sanjin
too
Yasha
much
is such
to
a
get both,
situational item
right?
in comparison, but...
Is it too much, it's not enough damage if you go both Dragonlance and SNY? Is that what you're saying? They're kind of mutually exclusive?
It's pretty expensive, right? It's good stats, though. I think there's a couple of heroes that it can be nice on. A hero that comes to mind for me is like Vengeful Spirit, who benefits a lot from the range of the lance, and at the same time has really good agility and strength gain, and benefits very much from just maxing out all those stats and being super tanky, because it's like a different type of carry, right? It's not your classic carry. She's really in your face and short range. So that's a hero I can see it on. I don't know if you can build... I feel like it's not ambitious enough on a hero like the new Lone Druid carry build, for example. You want bigger items that deal more damage. Mostly the case. Like... It's an all-round item, but the problem is that Dragonlance is also an all-round item that's more cost-efficient, and then you go for another item.
Oh, top lane, Tomato, scouted out by PPD, and that
a
is
good
the
kill.
Aegis.
They have a
Reinforcements
dust.
are on the way. Sand King, IX Mike, pops his ult, blinks in, Gyrocopter at half HP, but Jayo doing a nice job of keeping him alive. He's also doomed, in fact, and taking the right clicks of Tomato. Can Jayo get him the hell out of here? He's attempting to! He's gonna make it somehow into the fountain, will not die to the doom in the end. In the meantime, Boris, attempting to TP out. He's actually gonna get out as well. Wanted, very nice job. Taking the Aegis and not having any casualties, aside from, you know, Io, but that's expected.
That was very, very good for them. I think possibly they could have disengaged entirely after they killed the TA the first time, but they're not exactly sure what they're dealing with. And given that Sand King came in like that with the Epi, only losing the Wisp is really, really good. Might cost them a time. Oh, Kyo is really out of position here. That
He's like,
was
I got an Aghanim
not
Scepter.
the
I
plan.
can take it. Oh, a huge hoof stomp, but it's already too late. Gyrocopter is donezo. And the Hurricane Pike being used to full effect on Boris, who just can't get in range to do much. He's gonna... Oh, he's actually gonna live. I thought the Doom spell was gonna take him out. But in the meantime, that's 2 dead right off the bat for Team Freedom. Chessie's gonna get away with a sliver of HP. PPD pops the spiked carapace. Doom has absolutely no mana. Can just get off one more Infernal Blade. Impale will completely miss Chessie in the meantime. I mean, this Sprout is owning Doom this game. He has just been stuck in here perpetually, and he's going to drop it pretty easily. So that's 3 for 1. They do lose Gyro, but a nice turnaround in the end.
Yeah, that... You would almost think it was premeditated the way it turns out, but Gyro was baiting it a little bit early, I think. Still, that stun from Boris was amazing, and I believe this guy got a lot of praise for his axe. I think that he played previously in one of the Captain's Mode series, and he seems to have a very good eye for when to go in and hit these like really good combo stomps. This is not his first good stomp in the game. Kind of saves the entire fight there, but with a great first hoof stomp. By the way, I just got a message on Steam.
Yes.
Aghanim's upgrade for Gyrocopter provides an average of 142 bonus attack speed, but is it worth it? That was the quote. So,
Okay.
we're kind of back where we were before. It gives a metric though. Like 140 attack speed is a lot. You know, if you think about what you pay for that in the game in general. But it's a little bit flawed thinking as well, right? Because you can't choose your target. If you could buy Aghanim Scepter and get 142 attack speed, I think people would probably buy it on Gyro.
Right. Is it just the closest target to you?
No, it's a random 600 AoE.
Oh, random.
That's the problem. So you can't guide who it hits in a fight. If you could like
Right, it would
play
actually
around
make
that,
more sense
then
if it was like the closest target, something like
I could see that. I
Tiny
don't think it
Toss.
would be imbalanced.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
we're gonna have to
reload bottom?
relocate. And looks like Templar Assassin is gonna be dead. He gets swapped out, but swaps out a dead body actually. as the Doom is going to be applied to the Gyrocopter, but he doesn't give a shit. He's going to take out yet another hero as Doom. Well, you use your Doom, you're sprouted up again, and yet another kill going the way of Wanted.
Team Freedom
that-
are getting outplayed on these moves, and the problem that they will have right now is that when you're playing against this kind of draft, that's why it was important that they won the early game. I don't think they won it hard enough, necessarily at least. What's going to happen now is Nyx will find an opening, and they can literally pour in 3 out of the 4 remaining heroes. They can relocate one guy, and then Furion can TP. So you need to be very convinced that you have a good jump, or that you have the numbers advantage. Else you can get punished really hard. Wait, the side gunner hit the tower?
Yeah, it should.
Oh, that's pretty nice. I actually didn't know it does that. That helps as well.
So tell me this,
It's good for
Cinderwin.
pushing.
If Doom gets an Aghanim Scepter and continues to Doom Gyro, which he's been doing every fight anyway,
Yeah.
which I don't know why that's happening, by the way, but regardless, does it disable Aghanims?
I don't think so because it's not technically an ability. Break breaks the passives, right? But it's not an
Yes.
ability on the hero, so I don't know. I should know this from my 100 games of experience playing against Ag's Gyro. I know, but
Well,
It doesn't
maybe
come
after
from-
this game, if they win, you'll try it out in a scrim or something.
I feel like this is pretty far down for Doom on Doom's shopping list, though. I think he needs to buy a Force Staff. That's actually what he has queued up now. It's a good choice. He's
Yeah,
died so many
Sprouts have
times to
been
the
owning.
Sprout. It's funny how they have 2 ranged heroes on their team that both went for the Quelling Blade, the Razor and the TA, and now they both have pikes. But the Doom never picked up on he didn't get the memo earlier that that's a good item. Could have probably given him quite a better game. Might have died 2 or 3 times less actually just by having a Quelling Blade. And now he's going to get a Force Staff. But it's a bit
Yeah.
late. See if
Now,
the smoke wears.
If you're, we'll see if this
successful.
actually comes to fruition at all. As QO's in the jungle, he might run right into the onslaught of Team Freedom. He's going to attempt to go for these Ancients, but Team Freedom, they find JO. Not as good of a pickup, but, they'll take it at this point. If you're Doom in these fights, who do you want to ult? Like, what's your number 1 priority?
I would say you Doom either, if you can, you Doom either Io or, well, unless you can just kill Io, right? If anyone gets in on him, if TA gets in on him in a stun, he's dead. So then you don't Doom him. Else, I think the Nature's Prophet is a pretty good Doom target. He's very farmed.
Oh, Gyro. He's going
Or
to
the
get
Gyro,
doomed
of
again, and this
course.
time the right clicks of Tomato are enough to just decimate him. In fact, the Doom was probably not even needed, but better safe than sorry.
There's an interesting point being brought up in chat. Apparently, this game is all about X Gyro. That's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, of course.
It doubles orb effects because it's considered an attack.
Yeah.
The thing that
That's why you
comes
get
from
stuff
Sacred.
that procs, like crit.
So that means when you get Satanic, for example, you heal up really, really fast.
Yeah.
You hit twice. I guess it's very good with his crit. That's why I bought Chrysalis. I'm starting to see it. I think I may have underestimated it a little bit. The problem still is, this transition period just seems to be so long, right? When you're playing Gyro, you generally pick the hero to be dominant in the first 20-25 minutes because that's the hero's peak. That's when Rocket Barrage is good. That's when your cooldown is really good. So you try to itemize so that you're as strong as possible there. You try to win your lanes and try to win the game. However, if it's like this in elimination mode and the game is a different type and you can play for the super late game Gyro, maybe this is not that bad of an approach actually. Uh-oh, Tomato.
Boris, that looked like a
Has
bait of
Aegis.
Tomato. Yep, he does have Aegis, like you said. Impale's
Oh,
gonna
nice
hit 2.
stun.
Nicely done from PPD. Hoof Stomp on top of Double Edge. That's a dead Vengeful Spirit. TA coming back, but here comes IX Mike with the Epicenter. No Burrow Strike to speak of. Looks like he got silenced. Boros is gonna drop to the deck as Chessie attempting to run away, but the right clicks of Tomato are just doing work. Chessie? Nope. Infernal Blade's gonna cancel his TP. That's a 3-for-1 in favor of Team Freedom. Kua does get out. And
I
like
got
you
the
said, has
Aegis as
crit.
well, but definitely very good for Freedom here. Should be able to get this tier 2, maybe even tier 3, or force a buyback. Io and Gyro definitely cannot hold this kind of push that long. But it takes them quite a while. They don't have a creep wave top. This is actually... And this is taking like 15 seconds just for the creeps to get to the tower, so maybe they only get this tower. That's Glyph.
What do you think about the shrines not being able to take it out until you get a tier 3?
I think it's a good change. I think part of the reason they did it was that the games got a little bit too streamlined.
Yeah, I agree. It's
I would
like
like
too
to think the
methodical,
design. I'd like to think that the design. We should probably wait with that. This is gonna be a fight here. Tomato will do whatever damage he can. Gonna probably see them disengage after this tier 3. ESJ
Yep.
really wants that.
Down the tier 3 goes, BSJ using the Hurricane Pike.
So this might seem like a weird comparison in a way, but I think in a way the design philosophy is the same as when Roshan was changed from having a set spawn timer to being random. You remember it used to always be the same time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
8 minutes.
They changed that, I think, because the games got so predictable that the leading team would just play slow, know exactly when Roche was up, dominate the Roche pit, and then take Roche, so that added some chaos.
Oh no.
Oh.
Tomato. He almost got wrecked by that ancient. Boris gonna use Stampede to full effect. They're gonna get a nice stun onto 3 heroes for Team Freedom. QO pops his Satanic. The first to drop for them is gonna be Centaur. 1 for 2 at the current moment in time though. Doom.
Nice against
not even gonna get
Refraction,
his
this
ult off.
Gyro Axe.
Here comes the counter initiation from IX Mike. They're gonna get 2 after that. IO buys back into the game. IX Mike's gonna pay for his transgressions as QO hooked up with JO and Chessie, and they're gonna attempt to go for this tier 2 mid.
This Gyro Axe is some good shit. I knew it was gonna be
I
great.
hate so much.
That's cool. I like stuff like this. It's
I like new stuff.
It's eye-opening. I was definitely underselling it.
Eye-opening?
It's cool.
Perk.
What was that? Eye-opening?
Nothing. Yeah.
Come on. Man.
That was pretty bad one. I'll
Good
agree.
push here. So anyway, what were we talking about before even?
Who even gives a shit? As this tier 3 tower is going to take a lot of damage. We're talking about the shrines.
Yes. Good. Okay. Let's see if BSJ can run
Yeah,
on
why
this
don't you talk
gyro.
about that
I
right
think
now
it's
as
gonna
there's
get
a fight going to happen.
saved. Yes, he's out. Gyro. Uh-oh. That's not a good call down.
No, he's going to get doomed up. He did pop the Satanic actually, but not going to keep him alive. Jo. Looks like he will die as well, and the gem drops to the deck. I don't know whose gem was that originally. Let's see. Loki. So they just retrieved
They
their
got their
gem
own
back.
gem back, yeah. So anyway, the point I was trying to make, I'll make it quick now. If now that you don't all the games in the past were just take all tier 2s, take shrines, build advantage, take Roche, end game. Now it's a little more tricky because you can take all the tier 2s, but you still can't get the shrines, and they are generally the losing teams way back in the games that they can TP on them to contest Roche, TP on them to flank and gank from behind, use them for smokes, all this kind of stuff. So you need to commit really hard and earn that advantage. And I think taking, in some games it's easier to take one tier 3 than taking all the tier 2s. And then that's your lineup's reward for being built that way. But most of the time it's harder. Because the high ground defense is so much easier. There's like a billion shrines that you have in base to hold your tower with and stuff. So I like that change a lot. I actually think it improved the game quite a bit. The game's got a lot more interesting to watch and play, in my opinion. So
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
a fan.
Definitely agree. PPD is going to run into BSJ, but the Impale's a little bit too slow. Team Freedom right now grouped up. Looks like they might want to smoke here, and indeed they do. Perhaps they want to gank this shrine. Top priority. Typically when you want to go for shrines, it helps you get map control. Do you just go for it here, or you obviously prefer a kill, but they're not going to find anything? At least nobody's in the vicinity. Gyro,
If
though.
you've smoked like this, you want to try to find a kill first, and then if you don't, you can get
Gyrocopter, Burrow Strike. That's an Agna Scepter for IX Mike. Jo
nice
Yules
Yules.
up. Satanic does pop. Is it going to be enough? No. Down goes the Ags Gyrocopter. Tomato pops the BKB in the meantime. Boris, he stuns up Doom. Epicenter, it looks like it was completely wasted. Boris is going to be able to force staff to safety.
It's caused a minor earthquake.
Nice swap.
Yep.
That's the beauty of Vengeful Spirit in the new patch. You're able to actually get levels as support. Level 2, the other swap compared to level 1 is a huge difference.
Yeah, Gyro died without buyback there. The relocate's not that well timed from Jo. I think he panicked a little bit and tethered in instead of casting reload and then... Oh, nice stun.
Nice impale. Here's TA ready to go to work, but the Spike Carapace was preventing from going onto the PPD. As there's the initiation from Boris, who did buy back. Double Edge is not enough to finish off the Razor. Tomato and
Great
company.
hold. They didn't even lose the tower without Gyro being alive. That's
Do they still
very nicely
continue
done.
to? I mean, they still have Doom. No, they're just going to take out the Shrine. and
They
back
can't
up.
go in. BSJ is too low. The BKBs are on cooldown, so good stuff from the Dire to hold there.
What do you think of Chessie's build this game? It's very right-click heavy and some utility, obviously, with Scythe Device.
I think that's generally the way to play Nature's Prophet nowadays. now that you can get an item like Pike, so you get so good attack range, it's a lot easier to play him like a carry, because you're further away from the center of the fight.
Do you think
Makes
Eggs
it
is
really good with
garbage on him?
Mjolnir. I think this build is more or less standard, I would say. The Pike into Mjolnir is very common. Then either you go a semi-utility after with something like Hex, or you get hardcore physical damage with like generally Bloodthorn, I think is the choice. Daedalus is almost a dead item, no pun intended. Almost nowadays. I feel like almost every hero picks up the Bloodthorn over it. In this game, we're going to see Gyro get the Daedalus instead, and I think it's because of the side gunner. It's a better crit in itself than the Bloodthorn has.
Well, even with Flat Cannon, obviously it won't proc on those hits, but isn't it just generally more damage overall you're going to get?
Yeah, Gyro is one of the heroes where I could see it being better, but you know, classically on Gyro you would still usually get MKB instead for that logic, right? Like it gives the same damage as Daedalus, you don't crit on the secondary targets anyway, and then you know you're not going to miss your attacks. Yeah, it's all for the side gunner, man. His entire build is built around side gunner. So that's good to see, right? It shows like it wasn't just some sort of random thing. He has very clear foresight and an idea he wants to do. It's cool to see it played here.
So this bias, I'll just call it a bias that I had previous to this game about Aghanims on Gyro. It's not like I just got it out of nowhere, right? It's not just a random ass opinion.
No, it's
like
it's
a lot
generally
of
been
pro players,
considered
like
extremely
Arteezy
garbage.
really tested it apparently. I know Weehaw did as well, and they consider it like they would think it's literally the worst Ags in the game, bottom tier. But
By the
it's
way,
not too bad this game.
I was told it does get
Here we go
countered by
again.
Break. Break does counter passives that don't have a spell as well.
Oh yeah,
like
that's right. Because AM,
Gyro
AM
and
Ags,
Anti-Mage's Ags also get countered by Break.
That's true. Okay. So are we gonna see that? Is the question. I
Doesn't
don't
look
know.
like it. Doom's building BKB. Good choice. I think more of the Radiant heroes need to get BKBs. Is this a 10-second on BSJ? It is. Tomatoes is down to 8. What's eventually going to happen for Team Freedom is that when these fights break out, you look at this Wanted lineup, and as we talked about earlier, they're very reliant on these stuns of Nyx and Centaur to be able to perform their fights. So if these heroes just run at them with BKBs on and hit stuns, it's hard for them to fight back. Especially if they isolate and kill the Gyro first, and I feel like there's just not enough in the tank for Wanted after that to win fights. Maybe if we see Nature's Prophet get toward a Bloodthorn or something like that here, let's see if Chessie does that. But for now I would say Team Freedom's in a pretty good position.
What are your thoughts on Aghanim's Nature's Prophet nowadays, with that level 25 talent being able to
Plus 6
double
chance?
your HP? Well, no, that was the meme, right?
That was the shit
That's
version.
just like give enemy extra gold, essentially.
Double treant HP and damage is pretty good. I think it can be a cool build if you're playing a lineup that is really centered around that playstyle. Like you only want to split push really hard and whittle your enemies down that way. I think it can be a good item. But obviously, I think it's difficult to strategize and build your lineup around having level 25 talents. You should consider it like a luxury that you get toward, because many games end before that point. Oh, Chessie.
Boy, Chessie at half HP, Yule's up, Tomato pops the BKB, Boris using Stampede, as looks like Wanted just wants to get the hell out of here. Kyo pops Satanic, Jo looking to get him out of here. Is he gonna get him? Yes! Nobody didn't get him in Fountain! He dies right outside! Oh my god, that adds insult to injury. He does have a buyback if needed. 2 dead for Wanted. PPD looks to be next. Veil is there, right clicks, drops the gem, and a 14k lead for Tia.
Can't you double click relocate? Doesn't that relocate
Yes,
to Fountain? I believe that got
so.
changed.
I
Oops.
believe that is correct, yes.
I think so.
Oh man.
He might have
that's
even
rough.
had him in Fountain. What can happen is if Gyro is like attack moving and he gets pulled to Fountain and he runs out of Fountain
Bottom
by
lane,
mistake. I didn't see
Nature's
it.
Prophet trying to take advantage.
This is not
of the
good
ratting
for Wanted
mechanism.
at this point.
It is not. Well, Gyro and Nature's Prophet do buy back here. They get 2 sprouted up with the 4 staff to get him out of dodge. Jo in the meantime, he has a Ghost Scepter. He's going to stay alive for now, but the Gyrocopter, if they kill him, that's huge. That is a dieback. And that is a Rax, and GG is called. Wow, that was quite sudden to say.
It's the nature of these two lineups, I think, is that at some point one fight is going to be very one team favored. And in my opinion, Team Freedom's team fights are a little bit easier to execute and they have more ways of engaging. The Nyx and the Centaur have to really deliver, and the team needs to play perfectly around it. Oh, you look at the Radiant, any good swap, any good Sand King stun, they can doom someone. They can just blink in and use all of their pikes to just run heroes down. That's kind of what they did. They got that good pick in the start on the gyro, even though they actually almost failed with that relocate, like you said. Could have been very different.
All right, so
kind of a bold play,
after watching the game, Cinderwin,
yeah.
what are your post-game thoughts and verdicts on gyro ags?
This is the important thing, obviously.
Hey, this is apparently chat. This is all chat's talking about. All right, this is the only
Yeah.
thing that was interesting. This game, so just go with it.
You know, like, that was the point I was making, is it looks like it can be really good later on.
versus Wanted. A couple of off laners banned out here, and the BSJ Classic, Mr. Huskar.
Mr. Huskar.
Mr. Husker.
Well,
Hand it out to the show.
Yes.
are you a gentleman, Mr. Huskar? Yes.
Why, yes, I am. So what are we
Alright.
thinking, Grant? What's left in the pool here that's tempting for these teams? I think Troll, probably one of the bigger cores we got to look out for. First pick Undying.
Yeah.
We actually saw this yesterday.
Yeah,
in
Freedom
game
and
two.
Wanted both like it. I think DK is going to be picked this game. He's pretty darn good.
But
The rest, I don't know. Who knows?
All right, thank you, analyst. What a
Well,
pleasure
thank you,
to have.
Slash.
Who knows? Back to you. All right.
Back to you, Cyhori.
Oh,
that's
the
a
old
cla-
memes.
That's the old memes.
5 seconds.
Um,
remaining.
No,
aside
Lesh
from
Track is
Troll-
probably. I think Lesh Track's a super top tier. I honestly think Lesh, DK,
Reserve
Earth Spirit
time.
are all
Radiant
three really
team
good. There's
pick.
one of them.
Okay, yeah,
Call me
there's
out
the
again.
Lesh.
Slacks, you idiot.
Good call. There's a lot of good int cores, and whoa,
Hey.
it's Tuskar's or Huskar's brother Tuskar.
I feel like we
Yes.
had this
Tusk.
combo the other day too, right?
With
Yeah.
the Lesh Tusk.
I believe.
Ice shards.
Yeah.
Good combo.
Just good
These
hero.
guys
I mean,
synergize well together.
yeah, Tusk just looks better. Is Sigil,
10
Sigil. What
seconds
is it again?
remaining.
Sigil.
Sigil. Yes.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
What about in the
5
royal form?
seconds remaining.
It's like the House Sigil.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, he's good. We've seen Zyman playing him a lot too. It
Reserve
just like
time.
he does a lot of things, and now with the EXP game, like Suns fan always says, he just has everything he needs.
That's
All
right, Grant. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for the shout out, bro.
Real
Well
recognize
said,
real,
Suns
bro.
fan.
All right. So, heroes left in the pool. Let's see. Who
There's
Wait, I'm
still
sorry.
a lot
I
of really
missed, I
good
did
team
miss
fight
part of the
heroes.
panel because you didn't go to commercial. I don't think. or
Well,
did you?
so funny story.
Oh, we
when
did.
when you said, "Hey, Syndrin," so we'll get some thoughts about the Ags, and he paused for like 5 seconds, contemplating what to say about it. And in that time, we thought we missed up the cut. So as soon as we went to commercial, he started talking about gyrocopter again. So Mott went,
you
"Oh
missed
fuck,
everything
we gotta
we said."
cut back." And then we went to commercial like 3 times, then said, "Fuck it."
Okay. So did anybody like the Ags?
I mean, I thought
No.
it had some merit.
No.
It's obviously good with Satanic. We talked about it a little bit while you were AFK. The Unholy Rage
10
life steals with it,
seconds
so
remaining.
he's almost invincible for that 3 seconds or whatever it is while he's life
5
stealing, assuming he
seconds
doesn't get
remaining.
stunned. But even if he does get stunned, Gunner's still life stealing for him. So I think that's pretty cool.
Reserve
But buying
time.
it first, going crit right away before the Satanic, all that kind of stuff, I don't
Dire
quite
team
understand the
ban.
particular trajectory.
As a man
Oh
who,
man, I want to see PL Ags one game.
God, you are so dumb.
He's like the only core. Well, I guess Faceless Void's left too. In
All
terms
right,
of, like,
here's the
cores that
thing
can
about
escape
PL.
ice
Why do
shards,
you
though.
think it's bad, Slacks? The Ags.
Wait, I don't have to think of
It's-
why it's
it's
bad.
not-
I
it's not
saw
the-
why it was bad yesterday.
No,
when
he
they-
didn't get Ags.
He
No,
never bought it.
you're saying PL is bad, which I agree.
Yes.
I don't think Ags on PL is
5
bad though.
seconds
Like
remaining.
if let's
That sentence
look at it this
doesn't
way.
make any sense.
No,
I
it
feel like
does.
this hero is bad, but his Ags is good, but he's still a bad hero.
No, listen.
Are you an idiot?
PL
What are you
is
saying?
good in some scenarios, right? And in those scenarios that he's actually a good hero,
Yes.
you get Ags because it's godly on him. That's what I'm saying.
Great. Thank
You
you.
got it,
10
Slacks?
seconds
I
You
got
it?
Yeah.
Try it in your pubs.
In the
Trust me.
1 out of
5
300
seconds
games where
remaining.
PL is the right choice, getting
All
an
you
item
need
that
is
makes him better
no push
is a
on
good
the other
thing.
team, and no stuns, and no silence. It's pretty easy to get
Oh,
PL in the
well, that
game.
makes sense. Yeah.
Incredible. Incredible.
Okay, well, Troll Warlord banned out by Wanted. We've talked about Troll
Dire
quite a bit.
team ban.
Oh,
Yes.
Spectre. That's another core that can actually get over shards. See, they're on the pulse right here from
Radiant
Freedom.
team pick.
Ooh.
Oh.
They're
They're
locked
killing
in.
heroes that just take out that tombstone real quick. Look at that.
Oh
Look at
yeah, there, genius.
Oh,
Who else
whoa.
is left? There's Legion Commander with the press the attack.
Dire team
Who else
pick.
attacks? Oh,
Oh!
look at that shit!
Too late, dumbasses! Sunset called it.
Let's get some more, guys. Who else attacks fast?
Oh boy, ow.
Echo Saber Void. Get fucked.
Go,
Let's do it.
boy.
So angry. Have any
Yeah,
saves
about it.
left?
Could happen.
10
We have
seconds
Oracle.
remaining.
Coddle.
I think Oracle's
5
really the big
seconds
one. No
remaining.
Dazzle.
I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
Wraith King for freedom either.
Reserve time.
If LC's mid. Wait, what do teams usually play as offlane though, right? Pro
Radiant
teams.
team
What,
Yeah.
Legion? Yeah.
Yeah.
Grant, are there
Or
any,
safe
are there
one.
any Tinker players on either team?
Well, we saw. Didn't Tomato play it yesterday?
Did he?
He did.
He did.
Dire
did.
They got-
team pick.
No, yeah, Tomato plays
Rolled,
it, and
though.
QO definitely
Hey,
plays
dead
it.
hero.
Yay.
Bat
yeah.
Rider.
Bat Rider.
That's the IX Mike Rider, I believe. So it's going to be a safe lane Legion for BSJ.
Oh boy.
Well, I mean,
Hype.
not a bad time to pick Bat Rider. Nyx Assassin is out of the pool, which has been kind of the stable counter to Bat
10
Rider lately.
seconds remaining.
Pretty impossible to play him with a Nyx in the game, so makes
Think about
sense.
if you have
5
like
seconds
2 stacks
remaining.
of napalm on you too in lane, like Tusk rolling in, you're just dead.
It's over.
Reserve time.
But then Tusk would have to do things. So
Look, all he has to do is press W. It's
that
fine.
is true. That is true. Okay, well, another pick coming out for Wanted. So I feel like they've got a lot of that. Bat Rider really helps out Freedom a lot. It gives them a lot of control, especially with all these kind of denial heroes and big burst damage heroes. Who they need somebody that would be able to mitigate all that damage. Too bad Omni Knight's banned, because he'd be pretty good
Thank
at that.
Jesus.
Team
I
Thank
think. Oh, there
Jesus.
you go. I was gonna say
What
Wanted
is
need
up
a
with
good
teams?
team fight
not-
support.
Yeah.
Do any team, Grant? Do any teams not like Rubik? I'm so confused.
NA
I'm
team,
still here.
They just don't know how to play it. That's about
Okay,
it. Yeah.
that makes sense then. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Witch Doctor's better in this scenario though anyway, like because he's way better at these diving Leshraks and Tusks and Bat Riders
10
from minutes
seconds
1 to like
remaining.
7.
So it looks
Yeah,
like this
do
game,
way more work.
This game's just going to be two
Dire
like
team
teams
battle.
running at each other, right? Like
yeah.
just at the 10-minute mark, there's going to go nonstop.
Undying Spirit Breaker on one side, Lesh Tusk Bat Rider on the other. Yep, sounds like an
hyped.
action-packed game to me.
Let's see if we can't switch that around. Where's the Medusa at? she's banned. Darn it,
yes.
community.
Oh yes.
Extend the
10
game,
seconds
please.
All right,
remaining.
Wraith King for freedom. That's pretty easy.
Okay.
What does Wanted want?
5 seconds
Wanted
remaining.
wants
Wanted.
a more than likely middle hero.
I
Both teams do.
Yeah.
Reserve
I
time.
think
Well,
for
NA teams
Wanted-
really like Tinker these days.
They do.
I think
Doesn't work out
Death
well
Prophet
ever, though.
could be nice for Wanted. They'd be a little bit light on stun, but they've got a lot of 5-man and sustainability.
I don't know. They got a lot of ways to catch up with that Death Prophet and Controller. I mean, Legion, Leshrac, and Bat Rider. If any one of
True.
those get their hands on her, she is just done. So
I think
what-
Wind Ranger's actually okay for Wanted.
Or Puck.
I
Puck
know,
for
as much
Wanted.
as you hate it.
Puck could be okay.
Anybody into the Fairy Dragon?
Yeah,
into
Puck's
it.
okay. Can escape from shards. Not affected by early Tusk
Dire
ganks.
team pick.
That
Okay,
looks
I
like
guess
they were
Puck
thinking.
looks pretty good now.
What about Ricky Mayru?
I wouldn't.
Huh?
Why would they just shut the hell up? What? Maybe there are a lot of stuns on both teams because looks like both teams want middle. We might see a storm, which isn't good on either team, but just because it's elimination mode,
seconds
they might just
remaining.
take it.
I thought Wanted might take it, but there's a lot of lockdown.
Bat
That's
Legion
so
has
scary.
remaining.
Charge Witch Doctor, but because they're just like, well, we feel comfortable with it, even though we're gonna get dumpstered, we'll take
Reserve time.
They could Dragon Knight as well.
it. Which
I'd rather just
they
have like
should.
Faceless Void mid, like WWD style or something. I would rather see that than a Storm.
Oh,
I
Team
was
Freedom
wanted.
10
WWD, a
seconds
throwback.
Yeah. I actually know Void mid would actually be dope
I
for
think
Wanted
actually
right
would be
now.
good.
Just saying.
But I don't think tomorrow. That's a
Oh, you
WWD
could do the Lincoln's
special.
build too against his Legion and Bat
It's
Rider.
the DK.
Yeah, he's the best mid hero by
My.
far.
Dragon Knight, you say?
Who calls the Dragon
Who calls? Boring.
Slacks,
boring.
call the last pick.
Let's see here. What position do we need?
Probably
10
middle.
seconds
A mid?
remaining.
Let's go Blood.
But they could send Legion mid now there's a DK.
They
Yeah.
could.
wanted
They
to.
might
5
actually. We'll
seconds
see.
remaining.
I'm going to say that it's the perfect
Reserve
game for a hero. Oh, we all
Faceless
know and
Void.
love.
They've got 100 or 2 minutes of reserve time, homie. You're gonna have to
That
stretch
Radiant's
this one out
actually
for a
really
while.
hot
A
right now.
hero that has grown and faded in popularity over the years. One of the oldest heroes in the game, but one of the great ones that North America loved in Dota 1,
Bloodseeker.
transferring to Dota 2.
So who would that be?
A wonderful passive ability, a powerful ult, which is magnified by Agnum Scepter. Just a hero that you won't believe, but let me tell you, I've thought this one out for quite a while, and as God as my witness, I say unto you, waiting at home, finally, if you don't mind me saying, that the hero that will be chosen by Team Freedom, which contains IX Mike, BSJ, Loki,
Wow, I'm surprised he made it to 3, to be honest.
Tindo, and and Eagle, the hero that I have been alluding to if you followed the clues scattered around my speech for the last 2 minutes is, without a doubt, and finally Silencer!
Yes, very good.
Thank you, thank you.
I thought you said he had a passive.
Yeah,
He
that's
does.
Passively
He
stays
does. His
ultimate does
scepter
get
is
amplified by
wonderful.
Ag.
He's one of the oldest heroes,
He actually
and
is.
his passive ability of intelligence steal is quite good.
Oh my
in
fucking
this
god.
match.
This actually, I like Freedom's
great.
draft again. I think Freedom's draft is way better.
I don't know, Grant. You're not afraid of the Undying Spirit Breaker Dragon Knight just running at you?
I don't. It's not going to be like a position 1 Mason Dragon Knight, so I think it's going to be a little rougher on him.
All right. What are you thinking, Slacks? Who are all your clams on?
I
Is this a 2-0?
believe that the game was back. I don't know. Dragon Knight is can be okay. He's never really an exciting hero for me, and I feel like people pretty much know how to counter him, especially after items like Bloodthorn came out. So I'm gonna go ahead and say we're going for 3-0 this time.
A
2-0?
3-0.
I mean a 3.
Wow.
A best of 3.
Maybe
Ah,
Slacks,
yes.
Slacks might have been looking at the odds. 3 points.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. Ah, yes.
GG bet.
First elimination round of elimination mode is a best of 5
Here
to the
we
bitter
go.
end.
Here we go.
I really
Oh,
do.
my.
A Silencer just demolishes Dragon Knight middle, though. Like one of the few heroes who can harass him out of lane while continuing to farm. So he's going to need a lot of help from the Spirit Breaker and Undying and Witch Doctor.
All right. Well, you can hear the background music. We've got game 2 ready to start. Our casters, Suns fan, and Cinderin buckle in for a bumpy ride.
Welcome to game 2 of the best of 3 between Team Freedom and Wanted. Cinderin,
Prepare for battle.
that
Yes.
one guy is joining me.
Yep.
What do you think of Silencer? Slacks definitely called it.
I think that hero is actually pretty strong mid, and that's what Freedom are going to play
Wrong
as
answer.
on
That's
Timado.
not what we're looking for.
I think
here.
it has a really good passive and a Aghanim's Scepter upgrade that
Yes,
amplifies its stuff.
yes.
So very nice.
Very nice indeed, yes.
No, it's I like Silencer as a mid hero. It's very good in most matchups. Has so much damage. Of course, the ability to have an orb effect is very powerful in mid, or an orb walk rather. Glaives of Wisdom. You can attack the enemy hero without drawing creep aggro. That's something that's more important in mid than in any other lane. Is having the right lane position and using the equilibrium to your advantage. And Silencer is one of the heroes that can do that. So if he's playing against a Dragon Knight, I think that's a pretty damn good lane for Silencer. I would surely favor him in that matchup. Overall, I'm with Grant. I like Freedom's draft more, but I once again think Wanted have this like timing where they're extremely good if they do it right. Tombstone with Dragon Knight, Witch Doctor heal.
Yes.
Look for them to push towers when DK hits level 6, I think.
Now, of course, Silencer
The battle begins.
does not have an escape mechanism, and there is a Spirit Breaker on the enemy team, friend.
Yep.
Will we see? Oh, actually, it's an offlane Spirit Breaker, so maybe it doesn't transition that fast to ganking.
It's in some ways that's even worse for the Silencer because you know the Spirit Breaker will be getting more levels. And as it looks, he will have a one-on-one against Batrider, which is a god-awful matchup. So at least they've got that going for them.
Yeah. God awful indeed. So,
Yeah.
all right, from Spirit Breaker's perspective, what level is like prime time out?
Oh,
top
Peter's
lane?
dead, I
GPP
think.
snowballed up into a
know.
split earth. Great call, Syndra, a 3v1, and you called that the one died. Jo, in the meantime, attempting to run away. He's gonna take a little harassment damage. A nice triple decay, though. Very
This
juicy
is
indeed.
this is pretty clever laning from Freedom. I think they've set themselves up to potentially win 3 lanes. This top lane does get tricky soon though, but if they get another kill now,
Jesse again, a huge decay though, another triple I believe.
Oh.
32 strength steal for Jo. He's the carry now.
Undying has 22 plus 37 strength.
Perfectly
That's
balanced.
unusual sight. So what I was gonna say is if they can pull this off lane, tri lane off, and win this lane, then they're in a really good position. But of course, Undying is a very hard hero to tri-lane into, and Jao showing why. Still, this mid lane, Silencer versus Dragon Knight, I think is going to be good for them. I know for a fact that Bat Rider will absolutely destroy Spirit Breaker. That lane is actually just unplayable for SB.
But he has a wand. He countered Bat Rider.
Yeah, he's bought the right item. That's good.
So from Spirit
He's still
Breaker's
gonna get
perspective, what's the general timing that you want to try to gank the mid lane? Like, do you want to do it super early? I mean, is it dependent on how badly or well you do in lane?
It's a difficult question to answer because it depends on so many things, right? Like, if he dies, for example, to this Bat Rider and he can't really come back to lane, then he might just give up the lane and fully roam and have someone else go bottom. If he's getting full XP like this, I think he wants to stay until he's level 6. This is
Yeah.
gonna give him a fast 6 and some good kill potential at least. This mid lane is going pretty even right now. I think early on Dragon Knight is a good hero in lane just because of the Breathe Fire damage reduction being the same on all levels. But eventually the Silencer is gonna start whittling him down, I think. 0-1 build. DK passive is good, but we'll see if it can sustain enough.
Yeah, so Silencer build against this, I was obviously expecting Glaze Wisdom to be leveled to some degree. Do you just max it completely? Do you ignore Arcane Curse? Like, what is the actual build on a mid Silencer? I have no clue.
I'm not sure. I think in this case you definitely max the glaives. You want the pure damage against Dragon Knight, so you can ignore his armor.
Oh my.
Oh, look at that.
That's a lot of
hitting
damage.
really damn hard.
Invisible pop by QO.
He has a flask. No, the flask is actually in Silencer. QO might need to buy a salve.
Oh, top lane, Jo blocked off by the ice shards, but the split earth misses, unfortunately. That means Team Freedom have expended their spells. They need to back that horse up. They'll be okay to go as QO getting chased continually by Tomato. QO, of course, has the shrine to work with him. It looks like, who's TPing in here? Oh, Jo.
Radiant's middle
Efficiency.
tower is under attack.
Yeah.
But Tomato's build, I'm assuming, at least from an item side, Hurricane Pike, pretty standard, at least the Dragon Lance for a carry silencer. Do you actually go for like an Aghanim's Refresher? Is that a thing?
No. The new Silencer Axe is really not that good, I think. I said that about the Gyrax last game. He's probably buying it first
No,
time.
I mean, it's not one of the best. That's certainly true.
I think you go, generally Pike is really good. Pike and Treads. You could get a Midas as a mid silencer. I think that's really good. The hero scales very well with the attack speed. And of course
Tusk.
getting levels.
Oh, Tusk is getting beat
Looks
on
like
by
he's
Jo.
just fine.
Oh, nice Ice Shard.
Decent shards. Oh,
Snowball.
that's not going to end well at all, actually.
Yeah, the cast plus decay is enough to help get the kill on Tusk. BSJ is pretty fast thanks to the overwhelming odds, and is likely to get away just fine. Eagle, in the meantime, getting locked off
He has
here
to go
by
Dragon Tail
DK.
instead.
Yeah, Dragon Tail plus a DD if he really needs it. No Rosh Deny for you. But bottom lane, this is more interesting than anything, because Boris obviously has yet to die. Like, what level for Bat Rider do you just kill this guy, typically? Because I feel
Well,
like
if
Spirit
Spirit
is doing
Breaker
quite well.
plays safe enough, he can't die. But, you know, generally when you talk about winning a lane, you look at who's getting more experience and more gold and have the higher impact on the game. You see Bat Rider is 20 and 5 and Spirit Breaker is 11 and 1. That is better than what I would have thought Spirit Breaker would
Yeah.
get. I thought Bat Rider would be like quadding him up here, like 20 to 5 or something.
Well, they're about to go on him here. A couple
Boris
more
has been
stacks
doing a
of
pretty
napalm.
good job.
Yeah, Boris playing very passive, and these stacks are not going to stack up.
Did we finish on the Silencer item build? I think,
Well, not really. You said you
It's-
don't like Ags
yeah.
or Refresher, probably.
It's one of the int cores that actually is pretty good with Atos. I could see him buying that.
Is under attack.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Atos is pretty core, actually.
Great stats for that hero. Obviously, good to root heroes in place when you don't really have a good stun or slow as a core. Oh, that's very ambitious from Eagle here.
Yeah, Leshrac was stunned up. Double dual breath, and looks like Leshrac is going to be the hero of choice for Boris and company. They take him out with ease. Loki, in the meantime, Ice Shard's going to make a little bit more inconvenience walk for PPD, but the right clicks continue, and Tusk, down he goes to the Breathe Fire. The
Wanted are
well.
doing a good job at finding these kills, but they're actually still not really leading the game just because of the farm discrepancy. And that's the advantage they get from the lanes here, Freedom. Tomato is 10 CS up on the Dragon Knight. The Bat Rider is now 15 CS up on the
Dire's bottom tower
Spirit
is
Breaker.
under
And
attack.
Legion and Clinks are more or less neck and neck. So it's about whether they transition these kills into objectives later or get their
bottom
key
lane.
items.
Nether Strike into a charge, into a lucky bash for Boris. One more right click will do it. Down goes the Bat Rider. But who does that favor in the end? Because you're right, Team Freedom is out farming Wanted, but Wanted has more kills, so it's essentially just even right now. Is Wanted fine with that? Or do they want, like, do they need to get to an early lead? Who do you take late game or mid game?
I think with the way they put the lanes freedom here, I think Wanted should be fine with having a draw, considering that their 2 solo lane matchups are, in my opinion at least, not favored. Duo is a really good player, so if he's losing like this to Tomato, then there is something to say about the matchup as well, right? Like, unless he's just getting brutally outplayed. But Kyo
Well,
generally
he's getting
knows what he's
initiated
doing.
on with 4
he's dying.
heroes, and yeah, that's gonna hurt. Triple decay for Jo yet again, but the Tombstone's gonna be free farm for Team Freedom.
So yeah, Wanted are probably happy with having a draw here, and now it's about how they can make their Dragon Knight relevant, I think. You want to use this level 6 DK form to try to get a tower, probably combine it with Tombstone. Currently only level 1 for Jo though, so that might be a bit off. Level 1 Tombstone is one of the worst spells in the game, let's be honest.
Is there no way to look at it as a value level? Like, if you're not gonna level up past level 1, is it worth it even getting level 1? Because the other day I saw it was a 2-2-0, or a 2-3-0, in fact, just nothing in Tombstone.
Yeah, I think you can go that build. I think once you... Either you do a build where you max Tombstone early, and then you're like extremely powerful in 5-man, or you get a build where you max Decay and Soul Rip, and then you're very strong in skirmishes and very strong for lane dominance.
Right.
In both cases, you'll probably get Flesh Golem 6 or at least early. Tombstone level 1 is just so bad. It's not just that it only takes 3 hits, but look at its spawn radius and the duration of it. It's just a shit spell. It's really, really bad. So yeah, I would say you don't get a value point in this spell. If you start skilling it, you level it up at least 2 or 3 points.
Wanted's going to group up bottom and take out this tier 1. In the meantime, Chessie top lane is dusted up and dueled up, and that is the first duel damage going to BSJ on the Legion Commander. Of course, that is a trade for a tier 1, but I don't think Team Freedom's going to be able... Well, maybe they can take this tier 1 actually as well. We'll see.
And I have Edict in 5 seconds. There is a Dire Glyph, so I actually don't think they're getting this tower right now. If they are, it might come at the cost of tower damage somewhere else. There's the Glyph. Wanted don't seem to be in a position to really... I think they could have threatened this bottom tier 2 a little bit with that Dragon form.
Yeah.
They end up just crossing over to mid, trying to set up here. But now the Dragon form has ended, this push is not really happening, I think. So, if I'm Freedom, I'm happy with that trade. You're playing against Dragon Knight. If you're trading towers early and you're getting farm on your heroes, then it's generally pretty good.
We haven't talked about talents a whole lot, and one hero in particular that I'm really interested in is Chessie may run into the majority of Team Freedom here, close to the Ancients. They're going to attempt to go on Boris. The Split Earth misses completely, and the right clicks are enough to take out Eagle. Chessie takes one for himself. Going to get snowballed up, but the Ice Shards actually do not help him. Favors Wanted in that fact. So 2 for nothing right now. Boris will be okay for now. Is actually they take out Silencer as well by the tier 1 mid. And this could transition to at least some damage to the tier 1s. They're going to continue to dive. BSJ charged up, stunned up. He's going to be okay for now. Might need to go Shrine up with the help of Batrider.
Oh, if Eagle gets a good stun here, he definitely doesn't.
Split Earth completely misses, and now Leshrak's the one in trouble. Is QO. He did have haste, but it's already been ended. Snowball. I'm actually surprised they're going in with such low HP. IX Mike goes into his death. Now BSJ next on the list. But Boris cancels the charge.
Right. This Witch Doctor healer was the MVP of that fight, that's for sure.
Boris might have to be the sacrificial lamb of sorts or Wanted. They actually get a duel
nice
out of it.
damage. Crazy fight. Very important for Wanted that they kill the Silencer early on in that 3-hero exchange that they got first, where they just kill 3 for 0. Tomato has a fairly long death timer by being level 8, so he isn't able to respawn TP and then use Global in the follow-up fight. So they get extras. The saving grace for Team Freedom there, I guess, is that Dragon Form was used again, and they didn't get any real tower damage. So when you're playing against Dragon Knight, you're very... Like, if Dragon Form gets used and you can lose a fight a little bit, it's still better than losing map control.
Right.
So, all in all, okay for them. I think Wanted, 2 things were very important there. First of all, the heal from Witch Doctor. The other thing, Chessie's scouting. The route that he takes and finds the 3 heroes out, first off, gives them a really good entry angle on their team. Because in theory, it's fighting into this Team Freedom lineup is really difficult. Oh, there's a charge.
Yeah, IX Mike and company wanted to get the Dragon Knight, but they'll just find a Spirit Breaker
in a
to
lot of
sacrifice
trouble
himself.
here. He's pretty dead.
I think, I mean, that was essentially you kill either Dragon Knight or SB, and SB's like, just take me, please. But as far as talents go, the hero I wanted to talk about was Undying, because I feel like he has some of the best talents in the entire game. Level 10 is a choice between 90 gold a minute. I don't know how you feel about the gold per minute talents versus respawn times.
I'd definitely take
Start with
GPM on almost every single case.
Yeah.
It's the respawn time is nice when you're low level, or well, it's nice in general, right? It's nice to come back to life. The problem with a hero like Undying is generally on your first life you've used your tombstone and your ulti, and those are your big spells. So if you come back to life faster, your second life isn't actually that impactful. Oh, nice play here from Mike. Mike actually gonna stay alive with the last TP. Very well done. So yeah, I definitely think GPM, and it's also if you're playing support, you know, GPM talents are just a heaven sent, right? It's your ticket to scaling.
See, our first global silence of the game is Undying is going to be the first to drop in this engagement. So 1-for-1 though with the Leshrac. Duel onto Dragon Knight. BSJ actually wins that. He might cost him his life with the Maledict/Death Ward combination of Witch Doctor. And Silencer used his ult, taking right clicks, and another bash for Boris. Doesn't have another charge for another 5 seconds, but the Cask doing a nice job of bouncing left and right. Looks like Loki's going to live through the day though. And IX Mike, of course, no lasso, as you said, already used it to get away. He's going to get charged up, but...
Oh, he's baiting them pretty well here.
It.
Yeah, that's a kill again on Boris.
Snowball, no split earth, but probably enough to take him out regardless.
You know what sucks playing Spirit Breaker?
Everything.
Sticky napalm.
Oh.
That sucks. Your hero has really bad turn rate.
What hero
Almost
do you hate?
impossible.
Okay, if you're a Spirit Breaker, name the hero you hate. I have somebody in mind playing against the most. Like the most frustrating. You want to like just punch somebody in the face.
There's a couple. I think Abaddon is pretty annoying.
Nope. Next.
I mean, I could just be right, you know.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. You get one more guess. I can give you a clue.
Okay. Rubik?
That was no. All right, I'll give you one guess with my hint. Okay.
Okay.
We had a set for it in Captain's Draft.
Lich?
You can do it. What the fuck? No.
Sand King?
Clockwork.
Clockwork?
Yes.
Oh, Clockwork is pretty annoying. I could agree with that. It kind of goes both ways, you know. You can charge through cogs, and you can
Stop.
ulti in cogs.
Just agree with me. Just say I'm right.
Yeah,
There's
you're
no need to
right,
have a
Kappa.
conversation though. Thank you. I'll take that regardless of the Kappa. Smoke up here by PPD and company as they're gonna converge onto Silencer. He does have global silence in 10 seconds, but can he live through the day? A nice initiation here. Peter Pan Dam, my god. That is a long duration death ward. They're gonna find 2 kills pretty much right off the bat as Loki gonna have to fall back. Jo, you okay, buddy? Alright. Pretty low. Diabolic Edict was owning him. And the
What
tier 1
the
tower
fuck
looks to
is
be
that
dead.
face of Undying? It looks like Nyx.
That's the, yeah, that's true. That's the new set, bro. Oh, nice snowball is gonna avoid the Cask. Looks like they find a kill on Silencer in the back end though, and Loki looks to be next on the list. Wanted, just spiraling out of control here.
That was all over the place. I think the key point there is that Global Silence is on cooldown. If you're Team Freedom, you wait with taking that fight another 10 seconds, and then you might actually just flat out win it with that cooldown. Instead, they go in lacking probably the most impactful teamfight spell that their lineup has, and they got punished pretty hard for it.
Eagle, Invis rune is up. Jesse next to him, Invis as well. Looks like he might want to initiate onto Boris. Another missplit Earth. Oh, yeah. This is a rough game for the Leshrac. Might still find the kill. Nope. TP out is just in time for Spirit
Yeah,
Breakers.
I think Clinks will.
Yeah, Chessie, like you got no mana, you're not hitting your split Earths anyway, so should be able to take this kill. Walrus Punch is going to keep Chessie in place, but of course, Vision,
What the fuck, map
thanks
hack?
to Spirit Breaker. Yes, aka map hack, for sure.
Or at least it doesn't draw the entire Vision blue anymore. Oh.
Oh yeah, Undying with that vagina face is going to put down the tombstone. And here we have the fight. IX Mike taking the right click from Chessie as a snowball comes into place with BSJ attempting to TP out. Might be fine thanks to the global silence. Loki not going to be lucky. 24 seconds left on that cooldown, so down he goes.
That's another global used, and they don't win the fight. This is looking really, really good for Wanted at this point. Once again, they're playing the lineup that wants to group up early and push towers, and if they're winning the fights this convincingly against a lineup that has actually really, really good spells against this 5-man stuff. They have Sticky Napalm and Firefly, Global, overwhelming odds, and of course the snowball. He actually hasn't skilled Sigil. This is like a death sin in this game, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, you're right. The value level.
I
of
would
Sigil.
consider that an absolute key ability to have. It renders Spirit Breaker almost useless apart from his charge and his ult. He can't really hit when there's a
Yeah,
Sigil.
Snowball doesn't. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, it just doesn't scale that well. You
Not
get
that good.
1 second less on cooldown for each level, and then the damage goes up, right?
Yeah, and the
That's it.
stun goes up a little
the stun
bit.
as well.
I would say in most cases you go 4-1-1 or 1-1-4. I think this game is probably a 4-1-1 game just because they want all that AoE damage from the shards, so that's fine. But generally, support Tusk level 3, you have 1 in each spell. The Sigil is just way too good for what it costs, such a long duration. And if you see how these fights are breaking down, like that Sigil could have made a really big difference, I think, in most cases. So. I'm not that big of a fan of this build, personally.
Alright, DK with a Shadow Blade. I love seeing this item.
Oh,
on
he has
him.
that and Armlet? And he's
Yeah,
he's rolling
pretty
in
farmed.
dough.
Now the question is Silver Edge worth anything this game? For the break, not necessarily for the minus damage, because that's always going to be good pretty much every game, but is there anything that it really takes off that matters?
Breaking
it work
Moment of
with, like-
Courage can be pretty good.
I mean, that's super timing based. That's not going to be consistent, right?
No, it's not that good. But still, I think Silver Edge is often just a good item to buy. It's pretty good value.
Well, I think you upgrade it regardless at some point, but the question is, how fast do you do that? Do you think
So what
there's
does it
value in
do?
going something else?
Lowers the cooldown by 4. It gives you 15 ult stats, and it gives you the minus damage effect and everything. And the cost is, I think, it's pretty valuable. And it's probably gonna come after his BKB, I would imagine, or maybe he just keeps Shadowblade and goes BKB and then into AC. But I wouldn't mind. I think Silver Edge is a great item when you already have.
I
Shadow.
agree. Tomato, Nether striked up into a Dragon Tail. He doesn't even have mana for his ult, even if he wanted to use it.
Nice
Down he
KS
goes.
charge there from Boris.
That's how you do it in pubs. He's learned from the best.
You just pretend it wasn't a KS by charging another guy.
That's true.
Clever.
And Tusk, all right, got a little DC here. So 6,500 gold lead for Wanted right now. Obviously, where they want to be, and they can continue to push with this DK form. What can, like, how's Team Freedom's anti-push here? You got LC's overwhelming odds. You have good team fight with Global Silence, and good pickoff with Batrider, who does not have a blink yet, by the way. That's something to keep note of. This is something that you see players go back and forth on whether to get drum. Typically, you get drums, I think, if you're just farming really well, right? But this game, maybe it would have been better to get a blink. I'm not sure. What are your thoughts?
On the Legion, you said?
That's incorrect. Thanks for listening.
Damn, that was
The-
close. No, I was stuck in my own thoughts. I was thinking of something else, and I'm gonna bring this up to you because you're like the best person for me to talk to about this.
Yes, please. Please do.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. Overwhelming is an adjective,
Okay. Yeah.
and overwhelming is a verb, right?
Oh, yeah. You can use it in different ways. Yeah.
So why do we call it overwhelming odds? Isn't the name of the ability actually overwhelming odds? Like you are overwhelming the odds. Isn't that what you do? It's not overwhelming odds. It's not like the odds are overwhelmingly favoring you. You're
No,
overwhelming the odds because
no.
it's better the more you're against. It's the worse odds you have, the stronger it is.
No,
'cause
I
you
see what you're
overwhelm
saying.
them.
I think it actually could be used both ways still.
But seriously though, the Blink Dagger and Legion's a great choice on Stone.
All right, Batrider, Blink Dagger. Should he have gotten it before drums in this game?
No, I don't think so. I think getting stats, if you look at this type of game, it's like a brawl, you know, a lot of 5-on-5s.
Yeah.
These drums should have been very valuable. I just think Freedom didn't really find the angles and the right engages where they combined their heroes very well. They got split up a bit too much, so Clinks got to hit targets, and the Undying was a massive problem with the Tombstone in a lot of the fights, so... yeah, that's my 2 cents. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, when he pops his ult, they don't even recognize what hero it is. It confuses them, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's actually pretty strange when you're kind of imbalanced when you think about it.
Jesse right now has a Desolator along with the Aegis that he just picked up. And he's just looking for some pickoffs. This is a hero we've been seeing a little bit more than I thought we would in elimination mode. Perhaps making a semi-comeback of sorts. It's super dependent on, I feel like, snowballing. Do you feel the same way that it's just you get like your core items to begin with, and then you just have to find kills, or else he's just completely worthless. It's not like a hero you can just sit and be okay just farming.
On which hero?
Fuck you, you piece of shit! Alright, we're done with this garbage. I am done asking you questions. I swear to God. This is, I mean, at least it's consistent from years ago when we did this. So he's an absolute garbage. IX Mike in the meantime. Anytime I
think
ask you
it's
a
important
question,
that you fight with that hero.
yes, that could be true for literally any hero. Kyo is gonna pop his ult, going for IX Mike. A nice break
Which
of
hero
the
were you
stun.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Clinks.
attack.
Yeah, that's definitely not a farming hero. You want to fight early with your
Tomato
levels.
initiated
Uh-oh.
on again. No global silence for you. It's a 1-for-1. He buys back. And the Death Ward again. PPD is doing work with these casks, Maledicts. I'm just going to list all his spells. Voodoo Restoration and Death Ward. What,
Yeah, this
what a
Maledict
combo.
level 1 has done a lot of work this game.
Oh, that's true. I mean, he's at least been applying it. I see a lot of purple heroes in these fights, you know? But Tomato, he buys back. And with that, Wanted is going to be very happy with that exchange because he didn't even use his ult.
Yeah, this is certainly not looking good for
Oh, boy.
Team Freedom at this point.
Oh, boy.
Jesse?
Oh, he wants it so bad. He's like, ugh, please. Oh, there's a Tusk. God damn it.
Well, Sounds are still fairly tanky. He has a decent amount of armor and, of course, a lot of levels from the Midas. But considering Tomato's start in this game in the lane, he has had a rough game. He's 1-5. He just bought back. You see, he's forced into a very awkward item build now as well. He's going to buy Ghost Scepter into Lincoln's.
Oh, yeah, that is a...
I don't know. Oh, that's pretty lucky. That curse actually hit Chessie, and Chessie... What was that? Oh, they did have a sentry. Okay, I thought he just cursed the creeps and hit him by chance. But did scare him off, nevertheless.
Ooh, double damage, Chessie.
I think Wanted, what they need to do now is exactly this. Just group up, push the top tier 1 tower. Probably don't even need Dragon Form for this one because they have the Aegis. And they can Dragon Form the second tower if they want, or maybe even just run at it and hit it.
Oh, I love this.
Oh,
Alright,
DD for Chessie.
Kyo did have Silver Edge. He still does on... he has it queued up, but... Like, you know what? Gonna go for some more mobility. How about a Blink Dagger on top of my Shadow Blade? That sounds good. Chessie, in the meantime, looking for an LC
Radiant's
kill.
top tower has
Not gonna find it
fallen.
thanks to the Ice Shards, as Boris was looking to assist. But DK form, this should be a very dead tier 2 tower. Tomato might be getting stuck out again, and he does not have buyback, and they know this. 60 seconds on the deck. Don't see any reason for Wanted to back up now.
This
DD on
is...
Radiant's top tower
Oh,
Okay,
boy.
BSJ joins his friend.
Alright, the chain feed has begun, ladies and gentlemen.
You're not going down in a bad position alone, buddy. I'll make you look half decent.
Radiant's top tower.
But there's
That's
the
not how
Frozen
it
Sigil.
works.
That's the important thing, and it's
Alright,
killed.
there we go. 100 gold for Dire.
It's killed immediately.
Bit late.
Radiant's top tower
Alright, that is a dead Rax.
It feels like Loki just had an oh shit moment. And he just, oh, I should probably skill Sigil. Now he's starting to max it over Snowball.
Yeah, that's
That's a
second
bit too
level,
late.
man. Super
This
important.
game is more or less over at this point. Team Freedom have one last chance in 15 seconds to take a fight that they need to make count. They're fighting
I
into
don't think
Aegis.
Wanted wants to fight this. I think they take the tower and back. They're happy with these decisions.
We'll see. I feel like they're strong enough to just brute force this Rax as well. We'll see though.
But why would you take the chance? Undying is going to be perhaps the sacrificial lamb. They're not
You're
able
right.
to get the Rax in
They
time.
didn't actually get it. It was close though.
Oh, BSJ,
Oh, good
he
duel.
wants the duel onto DK. Global Silence is going to keep him in place. Nobody can use any spells.
Oh, he
That's what
barely
that
won
skill
that.
does.
is under attack.
How many duel wins is that? I wish it would actually say. Just says the damage.
Yeah, math is really hard. I know.
Let's
That's
see.
5 wins.
What is
That's
3 times
10 plus
14?
2 times 14. That's 30 plus 28. That's 58.
Man, you are a god, Cinder.
It's called education. You should try it sometime.
Edumacation?
Yeah, something like that.
Yes, it's a. I'm pretty sure that's getting cut.
I
in the
mean,
new
it can get
administration.
complex later on because there's actually there's multiple options for how many duels you could have
Dire's
won
middle
when
tower
you have
is under
had
attack.
both level 1, 2, and 3 duel.
Dire's structures
So
are
you're
fortified.
kind of right, but at the same time, I don't like agreeing with you, so you're just wrong.
I understand. The sentiment is shared as the
Oh,
Maledict.
that's a
It's
good
level
stuff.
3 now, mind you. Very important skill to keep in mind.
Jesse with the pike. He could probably kill Tomato. Oh, Tomato has Ghost Scepter now.
Oh,
Finally. He's gonna
boy,
see that now and not
Tomato.
go for this attempt. I think.
Does Chessie pick up a
Oh, maybe with a
defusal
charge.
to counter this?
Ghost Scepter. Use your Ghost Scepter.
What?
Alright.
What? I don't understand what we just watched. That was conceding without actually conceding.
It's possible the hotkey for that fell off his keyboard, and then he's just trying to find the Ghost Scepter key fast.
But then,
so he's like,
okay, so how
takes
do you
his hands
explain
off
him?
the keyboard, tries to grab that button and
Oh,
put it
okay.
back on.
Uh-oh, Dragon Knight brought in by the lasso. He's gonna get stunned up.
good
He's taking a
damage.
lot of damage, actually. Armlet toggling to the best of his ability. He won't live through the day, but they will find 2 kills, and all they really need is Chessie to take out these barracks.
Yep,
In
that's
a way
2
they go.
lanes.
Radiant's middle
Oh, BSJ Nether struck up and dropped to the deck yet again. Buyback on Dragon. I just want to finish this. Like, fuck this shit.
Interestingly for me, it seems like Wanted are more comfortable on their heroes in this game than the first one. The reason that's strange is that, you know, it's elimination mode, so you should get less and less comfortable per game.
Right.
But this draft just seems so... Yeah, they're grouping up as a team, they know exactly what they need to do, their lineup is coming together nicely. They have some of their trademark heroes, like the Undying for JO, the Witch Doctor for PPD, obviously also very good. Chessie plays a great Clinks. So they got a nice draft this game, they executed very well, and Team Freedom, they need to step it up a bit. I feel like this game they definitely had a good fighting chance, but their execution just wasn't really there in the team fights. They just got outplayed.
Yeah, this looks to be the final engagement, perhaps, as Silencer is still dead for another 40 seconds. Tusk dies, buys back, IX Mike. One more right click. Oh, it's not enough, actually. About 60 HP to boot. Destiny and company gonna group up on LC. Don't think you want to get a duel out of this. And again, kill after kill, dropping like flies is Team Freedom. They will find the Spirit Breaker, perhaps, though. Clinks in the meantime, lassoed up. But no damage to speak of. So we're just
They got the
watching.
tombstone.
We're just watching people fight. Dead. Dead. By the way, how much more enjoyable is Tusk for you with this 35% XP gain at level 10?
Oh, that's such a big difference. It's amazing how much that matters to the hero. In a way, I feel like the reason that amount is balanced is because Tusk, relative to a lot of other heroes, actually doesn't benefit as much from the levels. Like, when you think of how the hero works in the game, then obviously maxing out your skills is nice, but we talked about earlier, Snowball doesn't actually scale that well. Your ulti isn't really that much better on higher levels unless you're a core, so the levels aren't that great, but you get a lot of
First.
You know what
This is
I would like
Sunsan.
to see this game,
What
other
would
than
you
Wraith King?
Wraith King.
Arc Warden.
Arc Warden.
Not gonna happen.
I want to see Enigma.
Yes. What? Enigma? Okay, sure.
Radiant
I
team
think there's
ban.
literally
Ah.
one person in NA who plays Arc War, and he's just a pub spammer named ZXYC.
I'm sure
And no one else.
Tomato can play
No,
him.
he might be able to play him if they want to lose.
You know what? Can we talk about Enigma because one of
No.
his one of his talents is actually seems pretty good. The
10
super
seconds
Endolons, the like
remaining.
7 Endolons.
Eidolons.
Five
The end.
Eidolon.
Dude, it's the Slack end thing. They
The
just pop up in
Endolons.
words.
They end
I don't know.
they're the end. Anyway, I thought it's pretty good. I mean, there's just a massive amount of
Dire
Endolons.
team pick.
Endolon? Where the fuck? Ugh! Why? There's no N.
Here, wait, Suns fan to come for you. Wraith King has been banned out.
I know.
Oh, now
I
we're
know.
talking. Some Pugna.
All
Pugna.
right, It's
More
time
push?
for push. Yeah,
We
it's
still got
push time.
Warlock. A little bit of that. I mean, his ulti's still kind of brutal.
We
but
got D Pizzle. We got
Coddle.
Enigma. We got Chen.
Radiant
Gottel.
team pick.
Oh, here we go. This
Void's
is
a
what we
great
need, the Void
pusher.
draft. Now
Oh,
we're
the
talking.
classical
Whoa,
combo.
Void Phoenix.
All right, so team fight versus push.
Yep.
Who wins?
Wins.
So what else can round out this wanted draft? We've got like a disruptor, not bad, right? Good team fight.
Jakiro.
Jakiro. They could still pick up a Storm Spirit or
10
Tinker.
seconds remaining.
No, they're going for Enigma though. It's
I
double
think, like-
bubble time. It's EG style.
Oh,
Yeah.
the double
5
bubble.
seconds remaining.
Because you also want
shit.
wave clear, right? So like Winter Wyverns, mega value for wanted. Keeper of the Lights, super value
Reserve
for
time.
wanted.
Yeah, the problem if you take either of those
Radiant
two, I
team
think
ban.
Freedom just instant picks Storm, and that Storm's gonna have a good game.
Yeah, there's not too
I mean,
many.
that's possible too, but.
Bandstorm.
Aha!
That would be good.
Oh boy!
I found the
Dire
solution.
team ban.
No, Enchantress. Interesting. Why
All
is
right, ban the shittiest
Tease
hero
push.
available. That's good.
that? Huh? What would they be worried about?
They'll probably just ban Chen
Fucking
too.
mock me for what? What are you gonna say?
It's a Scooby Doo
Jesus.
response, bro. It's great.
10
What an
seconds
aggressive
remaining.
panel this.
All right, calm down, Trump supporters.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant
Oh,
team
Enchantress, Elder
Oh.
Titan, third
That's a
ban
good ban.
apiece.
That's a good ban.
Dire
Yep.
team
Hey, what
ban.
about Warlock for one to drop a little rock inside of the ult, huh?
That's not
Cooldowns
that
are so
great.
brutal.
Not
though.
even good.
Fine.
That's
You
not
miss
even.
out on the
I
stun
like how we
portion
just
of
shit
that.
on Zoe.
The Warlock,
No matter what he says.
the golems are the things that
What
do
if they got a
damage,
little
not
bit
the
of swing
fucking
push
dropping
to
the
help
rock.
against the 5-man? Oh, that's awful.
What if they brewmaster into it? He could ult and then blink in. Sorry, we love you. We love you, buddy.
Double bubble time, guys. We're finally gonna see it.
Double bubble.
They already pretty much have it with the egg, honestly. I don't think you
seconds
need
No,
the
you
Enigma.
go all out, Trent. All right.
You want it?
That's
No,
not the
hey,
right pick.
I need it.
I
It's
need
just
this.
they're getting it for one skill, and it's just Bloodlust Void. That's it.
Yeah, well, that lets you put him one so easily.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bit of offlane.
Yep.
In the words of several
Radiant
pro
team
players.
pick.
Oh my!
Coddle. Maybe a minor deny pick here.
Okay, we've got some
I
problems.
think they
on
just want it for
Freedom, though.
themselves, too, because it's just as good.
Yeah, okay.
And it makes Earthshaker way less shit, so now I can fish her twice in a team fight instead of just once.
How about a mid
Potentially.
Jakiro versus Pugna? That good?
How about it?
10 seconds
Yes,
remaining.
how's about it?
Liquid Fire doesn't proc.
5
Nether
Ward,
seconds
right?
Yeah.
remaining.
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, he's honestly not that. He's not that bad, right? Because especially he can just drop his
It's all
ult.
right.
It doesn't hurt him that much. He's got a lot of HP, so
Yeah, synergizes with Void. You know, good pushing.
Yeah, they have to
You
think.
know who synergizes with Void is Bloodseeker.
thank you.
Wow, that was quite the voice
Blood
change
Seeker.
there. Yes.
Oh my god.
You know, Wanted could also take Ancient Apparition.
Yes.
That would be bad.
Yes. Mid Ancient Apparition. I like it.
There's
Is
also,
that her trying to pick
Are you
that?
even trying?
Oh,
Are you
I
just
like
randomly
both.
picking heroes?
All right, Admiral
There
Kunkka.
you go.
A nice boat to throw in the Chronosphere.
Yeah,
The
that could work.
great around the egg. They all group up to right click it, and what do you know? Davy Jones.
All right, Zarya Redemption, call this hero. Go.
Go.
Okay, here we
Right
go.
10 seconds
Alright, you
Nope,
got this.
sorry.
Yeah.
Bristleback
Coddle
Coddle,
Bristle,
though.
dude.
The throwback from yesterday. All right, we got a couple bans. Everybody pump the brakes.
Pump the brakes here.
So we'll see what gets taken out, and we'll see what's up. Wanted with the 10th and final pick. Can play reactionary.
I know we were joking before, but is
10 seconds
Brewmaster that
remaining.
bad in this match? If it,
Yeah.
I don't think he fits either lineup right
Like,
now.
Who's he good against?
Well, here's what I'm thinking, right?
Okay.
Team Freedom
Lay
has
it on me.
a lot of squish.
Reserve
They have
time.
got pretty much, if you catch up with Pugna, Earthshaker, or Coddle, they're dead with anybody from this lineup. But Bristleback's always going to be a problem. So the Panda puts him in the air,
My God.
in the tornado. They could kill everyone else on the team, and then they focus him. I mean,
I don't believe it.
all right.
Genius.
Well, I'm just saying, the amount of control that we have from heroes left with that Bristleback, you don't have a lot of options for guys that can actually, stop him and,
So what are your lanes when Wanted picks Brewmaster?
What if he just rupture him?
I mean,
Or
yeah,
like
you could
Brewmaster
just
off
rupture
lane or
him.
something.
Sure.
I
could
want to
do-
hear
you could do
Slax's
dual lanes.
lanes. So Wanted picks Brewmaster. What are their 3 lanes now?
Listen, we don't have to stay on this. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I just say that they need some kind of major control for Bristleback.
I actually do think they're picking an offlaner, so theoretically it could be Brew.
Oh my god, I fucking hope it. I'm gonna destroy
Because
you, Grant.
Faceless Void will be
If
bottom
it's
versus
If
Bristle.
it's not Brew, I'm going to destroy you. Good luck.
Oh,
I-
no.
I think it's Phoenix off lane, and they're going to pick Ancient Apparition.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, we.
I mean, AA is actually not bad against. It's really good against.
I
Colin.
mean,
Wait, you fucks.
Okay.
Yeah, then
And
we're all
cucks.
done.
I'm
that the
going
new-
Bloodseeker, guys. It's
Is that the
definitely
new
happening.
ladies and gentlemen?
Fucks and cucks.
Hello, fucks and cucks, and welcome. Jeez.
All right, you guys are getting out of hand.
10
Oh, we need help.
seconds
We need help.
Fifth
You guys need
ban
someone to
from
reel you in over there.
Freedom.
remaining. Team pick.
Oh, it's the
Oh,
Brewmaster.
the fucking.
I told you he was
But
perfect.
we didn't know they would pick it, meaning
It
you are
actually
wrong.
was good. No,
Yo,
was
that
right.
means that they would have picked it on Wanted.
Absolutely not.
He was
Yes.
like the last offlane hero.
By the way, there's
No,
literally
no.
no strength heroes remaining. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah?
Yep.
Isn't, I
It's
see
just this like
Oh, that's
peeking
Suns.
eye.
That's the
10
Suns ban.
seconds
Yeah,
What
I
if they
know.
pick Suns fans' face? What do they get?
Nothing. That's the
They
sun.
get
Yeah,
disappointment.
But then shouldn't it be like bolded out?
It's like
'Cause I feel
grabbing-
like I should be able to pick your
It's
face.
grabbing the snitch. They win the game.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can
Whoa.
pick the Suns fan. In all
I thought
the
you didn't know anything
heroes,
about Harry Potter, you piece of shit.
You've won.
Okay, so it looks like it's a mid THD and a. No, I don't know.
No,
Days
it's
Lane
support.
Pugna.
Mid Pugna.
No, it is going to be mid
10
pug because it's going to be a.
remaining.
Safe. Are they going to aggro try maybe?
It might be an offlaner. I don't know.
5
They
seconds
freedom. The
remaining.
world is their oyster.
Yeah.
I think it's safe lane Pugna with a mid Jakiro and then
All right.
Bottle
So
Bristle.
So what's the final
off,
pick
but
here,
I
you
don't know.
butternuts? Does anyone have an idea?
No, you're supposed to call it.
I
Yeah,
already
this was
did. You
your
know what my
call.
prediction
Oh,
is.
if it's actually AA.
I'm just gonna rage quit.
No one
they
else
have to
even
do
has
this.
a
No time.
suggestion.
5
I'm
They
actually.
have to do dual lanes. I don't
Yeah,
think they can.
I'm gonna go with the
Oh,
Enigma. I was
there
just
it
about
is,
to
the
say
double
that. I
bubble.
really think that double
Oh,
bubble
yeah?
was the way to go.
Okay.
I'm serious.
We
Okay.
believe you.
He's also the only offlane hero left.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we
That's
were talking
true.
about him the whole time. They got a lot of
Yep.
synergy, huge amount of team fight on Wanted, and really they don't need that much to go right. You know, some team fight teams you need one guy to initiate perfectly. Literally anybody on Wanted could get a decent initiation, and everybody could build on it.
As long as they don't get rolled over, though. With Coddle Bristleback, they could just dominate the lane and snowball. So as
Yeah.
long as they don't lose in like the first 10, 15 minutes, I think you're right.
That's the point. And a lot of this is going to be a positioning coming out from Wanted. They're going to need to really secure that Bristleback and keep him on lock, kill the rest of his team, and then go for him. But we'll see if they have it in them to do that. Any predictions coming out from you guys?
I think Wanted looked really good in those team fights last game. So if they can keep that synergy going, and that was the most important thing in last game. They succeeded, they did it, and that's by far the most important thing with this draft they have now. So I will take that team fight faith and push into this match, even though I think it is going to be very difficult to execute.
All right.
Team Freedom. It just. They're red, white, and blue. They have all the things. They can push down any tower by the 1 minute mark if they truly want. They're going to dominate the lanes and dominate our hearts the day after Valentine's Day. They take it.
All right.
Wow, we.
Bold prediction from Grant.
Sunsy, what's up, buddy?
I just don't know, guys.
All right.
I'll be honest. I don't know.
I'm excited to see offlane Enigma, though. I
Yeah.
think with the changes to jungle and stuff, offlane Enigma is actually pretty good right now. You can deny in the lane, you can pressure, you've got neutrals to farm. It's
Yep.
sort of hard for them to contest.
So I was talking about before the draft. I feel like Enigma's Endalon thing is really good for the late game.
It ends the game, thus the
It
name
ends
Endalon.
the lawns. But suffice it to say, I feel like the only thing Team Freedom has going for it is the bristle. And if they can just control that, the game is theirs.
Blink, dagger, aghanim, scepter, friends.
On who?
Bristleback.
Bristle, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
I mean, what else would you build on
But
this
of
hero?
course,
It's been
Bristle
shown.
Aghanim's, I
It
mean.
is known.
It's 1-0, 100% win rate and competitive.
it is
Easy.
known.
What'd you say? 100% win rate?
That's
It is
right.
known.
1-0.
Oh,
Oh,
my, the numbers.
boy, oh boy.
All right, well, game 3 is loading in as we speak. They're hopping into the client. This is for all the marbles. Loser goes home. Winner stays on in the lower bracket and comes back tomorrow to fight another day here in Elimination Mode 3.0. This is what we hope for. Game 3, this is when shit gets crazy. Woo!
Hype.
Let's
go
get
on
in.
Yeah. yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait.
Do it. Punch it, Mon.
It's treason then.
Can I speak now? You didn't give me an opening at all. Hello?
No, no.
Is anyone there?
Prepare
Hello.
for battle.
Oh, hi. Hi,
Hey
Cinderman.
there.
How are you?
I'm good.
This is one of our better intros in the history of Moonduck. If I do
Yeah,
say
it's
so
kind of worrying,
myself.
isn't it?
Yes, it's all right. We're still a new studio. We're still figuring things out. But we are in the game. This is game 3. Loser goes home. Winner plays the loser tomorrow. Or yes, tomorrow. Whose lineup do you like? And don't say Team Freedom just because you love Keeper so much.
I like them both. I actually think these lineups are really good for a third game. Very surprised a lot of these heroes got to this part, like Keeper of the Light getting this far. Arguably a hero like Enigma shouldn't be getting this far either. If you look at the meta right now and what teams are playing, Earthshaker. A lot of good heroes. I think
30 seconds.
I think
to
Grant had a fairly good point about like the pushing speed of Team Freedom. They can take towers really, really quickly with a mid Jakiro and with a Pugna. Both of them are cores, so this shows that they're in it to just push really fast. Whereas Wanted, their teamfight lineup is incredible, and their late game's flat out just better. Like if this game goes late, I can't see Freedom winning this game. So
Yes, I will
they're kind of on a
definitely
clock,
agree.
and sometimes that's difficult in the deciding game.
Wanted's gonna steal the bounty rune, or attempt to at least. Model pretty tanky, but not tanky enough, unfortunately. So Chessie, by the way, is playing Enigma. I was
Oh, yeah?
not expecting this.
That is very interesting. I am not quite sure what the
So
reasoning
this
is.
is
Maybe
so this is an offlane void, just to clear everything up, because we thought he was definitely gonna be a 1 position, and of course mid Kunkka. So yeah, what do you think of this Enigma?
I mean, well, he is a safe lane void, right? And they're just trying to maximize their lanes. He's a safe lane void, but they're not helping him because they think it's better to leave the lane alone against this Coddle Bristle lane that he will sustain pretty well against. He has Time Walk against the double Quill Spray, so he can negate that damage, which we'll probably see happening fairly soon. He's going to try to get a couple CS here, and then he's probably going to jump after the next, or before the next spray. It's just better for the supports to be elsewhere. I think they could have put Chessie here on the Void and Boris on the offlane Enigma. It's probably just about comfort on playing the heroes.
Yeah.
Maybe Boris doesn't play the hero, or vice versa.
Well, we'll see how that works out for them as Chessie, of course. Not accustomed, at least we're not accustomed to seeing him on heroes like Enigma, but this is what happens when you play Elimination Mode. All your heroes are gone.
PPD killed the Dire Courier. That's a really good start for
I
one
didn't
to-
notice that at all, thank you.
Phoenix is one of the better heroes at doing this just because you can attack during Icarus dive. So if you get the first hit in, you're guaranteed to get the second hit. Other heroes get like outranged because the courier moves faster than you, especially melee heroes have a problem with that unless you have like Orb of Venom. So very nice snipe there from PPD. Looks like he might have to use his dive again here. Mike going very aggressive. Nope, gonna leave him alone. But that already, to me, gives Wanted a clear advantage in the game. Courier snipes are so big if you look at the net worth here. It's a 1k lead minute 2, which is very
Yep.
big, obviously. So Freedom got their work cut out for them a little bit. Their lanes are going well, at least, but obviously there's an extra 4 CS for every hero when you kill the Courier, roughly. 3.5.
Yeah, and right now, QO is, I would say, despite it being very early, he's doing quite
Eagle's
well.
in trouble top, actually. Jo
Eagle.
has Orb of Venom, and Eagle has no boots.
He's gonna
but,
have to die for this if he really wants
he won't
it,
get
but-
him there. Was close,
Ogre
though.
is
Almost had
tanky.
Ignite again, then he would have killed him.
Yes.
Man,
Yes, indeed.
Ogre got to the 3rd game as well. Didn't even mention that.
That's how many
Good
valid
hero.
heroes are in Dota these days, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta let some
It's a
through.
really good hero. It's interesting for me to see the American drafts as well. The meta is very different from what I'm used to seeing. Even in Elimination Mode, you know, which has very different heroes, you can still tell which region is playing
Yeah.
in most games.
And Rubik was left untouched, by the way, in all 3 games, both ban
Yeah,
and
that is
pick.
very surprising.
I mean, we've seen that in Captain's Mode, picked first overall in some
Yeah.
cases.
Mid lane
Pretty
BSJ. That's a good
X into
decrepify off. He's still
Torrent.
dead, I think. This is
Yeah,
gonna hurt.
Kyo with a DD. He's going to do a lot of damage.
Oh,
Eagle, though, with a nice fissure. Not going to save his comrade. Kyo actually going to get a free ward out of this. Nope, denied. Get wrecked.
Yeah. I feel like that's an even trade. He denied the war, so.
Yeah,
You may
Eagle's going
laugh.
to get some nice XP here.
Alright,
No,
never mind.
it's definitely good. I would never question something like that. Thank you for bringing it up, Syndrome. Really appreciate
Fissure.
it.
Oh, nice fissure there. Can't really follow through though. BSJ doesn't have boots and QO does.
So how does this lane actually go in a 1v1 on paper? Like for the duration of the laning stage?
The mid lane, I don't know actually. Kunkka has been changed a couple of times. The Tidebringer got buffed recently. He's actually a very strong mid hero in many matchups now, but Pugna, I feel like this is probably a draw. So QO is probably winning the lane slightly on better plays here. It's fairly even, right? 16-1 to 20-6.
Yep.
It's like a 60-40 lead for QO, but he also got a gank, so yeah.
Yes, he did die indeed. Jayo looking to perhaps initiate onto Tomato top, but not going to happen. Bottom lane in the meantime, Boris slowed up thanks to the viscous nasal goo. He has 222 move
he is
speed.
in trouble.
Attempting to TP out. Oh!
Clutch.
And will live. And actually TPs to a shrine. A very efficient play from Boris. I've actually been really impressed with his play just in general. I think he's been... when you look at when Wanted was announced, I'd heard of obviously most of these players, and they're all standouts in their respective regions, but Boris I hadn't heard of. I'm guessing you have, because he was a pub star.
No.
Okay, you hadn't heard of him either, but for me, he's the standout player for Wanted. Been really impressed.
Yeah, he's been showing good games for sure. Holy shit, this Phoenix is getting owned. Oh,
Phoenix bottom
close
lane,
call.
very low.
Boris is also taking a lot of damage.
Now, top lane Jakiro gets ganked by Jayo and Chessie. Ends up being a relatively easy kill.
These quills deal so much damage to Phoenix. Phoenix currently sitting on 0 base armor.
Did you catch
So-
the game the other day with Moo playing Bristleback?
No.
He went Vanguard, and then he went Ags,
Straight away?
and then he went Blink. I can't remember if there was a small item in between that or not, but
I think that can be really good. I think the Axe on Bristle is pretty damn good in some games.
I agree.
Not in this game, but
Okay then.
they don't really have any physical synergy. There's like no one in his team that benefits from minus armor apart from himself, to be honest, so it's not that great. I think in this game the Bristleback build you want to go for is one that just makes you exceptionally tanky frontline, so your other heroes can push towers. So I would say something like Vanguard into Hood, and then maybe, I guess,
Eagle.
Pipe or Crimson, or
Mid
both.
lane, getting quite low. The X marks the spot, holds him in place for so long, along with the Torrent. And again, pretty easy kill for the Way of Wanted.
QO is coming bottom. There's the
Boris
Chrono.
gets the
it's
Chrono
dangerous.
off. Boat will connect, and with the help of Phoenix, Sunray ends up.
Oh, he has
being
another
the kill.
X.
Yeah,
No torrent for this
is
one.
one of the
though.
most ridiculous spells in the game. I'm surprised we just don't see Kunkka more often, just in general. But this is a core Kunkka, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Do you think he's better as a core or a support? Obviously, in CM, more of a support as of late, even though he's not picked much anymore.
I'm not so sure right now with the buffs and changes to Tidebringer. Could be seeing him more as a core. It's just that the majority of what the hero does, he can do from a support position. Like, arguably, what makes the hero amazing is his spells, not Tidebringer as a carry ability. So obviously you can, in theory, play Kunkka off lane, and of course the most common position is position 4, where you give him some farm, so he can get a utility item like Blink, or we've seen the build from Lanham that was very popular with Armlet into, he generally went after Armlet, sometimes actually Armlet into Daedalus straight, I think, as like a semi-carry 4 style. Yeah, talking about the important things here. Don't mind that kill top.
It was a 3v1. I was watching it, don't worry. Although I'm not
Alright.
camera, so maybe it does matter. Either way, though, BSJ X'd up mid. Oh, I thought he was X'd up. Never mind. It was just a boat, not hitting anything. But he'll be able to drink that rum nice and juicy. Tank up these creeps. Very important.
Dire's
But
top tower is
either
under
way, it
attack.
looks like BSJ is heading towards top as he
Radiant's
sees
bottom
Chessie
tower
and company,
has fallen.
looking to at least do some damage to this tower. Ogre Magi, though.
Good fissure.
Wrong place, wrong time. Gets stunned up. He's going to be hard-pressed to get out of here. I don't see how it's possible. It's not possible.
Dire's middle tower is under
He is
attack.
killed.
That
So
was
5 to
pretty
1
close.
advantage for Wanted.
Yeah, the most
And-
important thing to look at is how many towers have they lost. Not so much about the kills. It's 8 minutes in, they've lost their bottom tier 1. The top tier 1 is pretty healthy, their mid tier 1 as healthy. I think if you're Team Freedom now, it's time to group up and start pushing these towers with Nether Blast level 5, soon to be 4 here. He just needs to kill
Level
these
5
golems.
would have been great.
Is under attack.
Yeah, if he had that, that would be good. That's an Aghanim's upgrade.
Yep.
Give Gyro level 5 Rocket Barrage, then
Actually,
it's
he
still a
does
shit
have
axe.
something, right?
Huh?
Oh yeah, level 25 is 125 Nether Blast damage, so it is,
Yeah,
there
that's
is a
really
level
sick.
5 technically.
His 25s are very good.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
guess you don't have this. I'm seeing we have this net worth thing at
Yeah.
the top. It's godly, by the way. Shout out to
Yep.
Buka
It
for
is.
coding that. Yeah, I've always wondered why they show, like, how important is it to show kills? Because it kind of means nothing. I mean, it doesn't mean nothing, but you know what? It's very overrated, and especially for like newer viewers coming in, it's very deceptive to look. It's very deceiving to look at the score and say, "Oh, this team is up by a lot, 5 to 1." When in fact
Yeah.
it's only a 1,300 gold lead.
I mean, I agree with it from like from the standpoint of telling the viewer what team is in the lead. It's not very accurate. But at the same time, the main narrative in the games is about kills, right? That's what gets talked about the most. So you can follow what the narrative has been. Of course, like sometimes the team with 10 kills is behind the team that has 1 kill if they have better late game. But then, yeah, I think a mix of both would be good. I think it would be a shame if you removed kills from there.
Bristleback
But,
died
yeah.
while you were talking.
We've
Anytime
got
you
really
talk,
good
somebody
timing on
dies.
this. Who cares about the play-by-play, right?
Yes.
Oh, he might go for Chrono. No, Boris thinks better of it.
They didn't have any combo anyway. Boat was used. Sunray was used. They do have egg, I suppose. Oh, nice cancel of the TP. Pio is going to be forced to go Shrine. One of the most annoying abuses playing against, especially support Kunkka, is the whole X back to base, get a free fountain out of it.
That's especially sick with the subset of heroes. Like Tinker comes to mind.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy with X. Some cool plays you can do with that. Maybe something like Furion as well with 2 TPs could be cool. Mid lane, Ix Mike.
looking.
They have a Chrono.
Yeah, they do.
I
Do they
think they're
want to
gonna blow
use
it
it?
here. Maybe not. Nope,
No,
they
they
don't
don't
need
need
to.
it.
They're all there.
It's going to be a kill for Bristleback, although he's doing a lot of damage to the with the cool sprays.
Sorry
Half
for the
HP.
dry coughing. I've got a little bit of that going on. I'll try to
You
limit
got
it.
a little bit of the dry coughing going on?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound very nice.
It's not too bad.
Radiant's top tower.
Is it
Just
the
the more
air?
you talk, the more it gets activated. I'll have a little water.
Please, enjoy your H2O, sir. Would be nice. I hear
So
the water's
anyway, this
great.
game is
Oh my god,
looking-
Conka, stop talking! For God's sake, he's gonna die, Cinderin!
Kunka's
Never
fine. What are
mind,
you
he's
talking
fine.
about?
Perfectly fine.
He has 11 on the wand. He has a bottle. He knew what he was doing.
Calculated for sure.
This game is looking really good for Wanted, though. It's not that they have a massive lead by any means. 2k, XP and gold, minute 11 isn't, like, fantastic. It's definitely solid. It's just the flow of the game, right? Like, they've successfully only lost 1 tower at minute 11. Their teamfight combo is starting to come together very nicely, and I think, in part, it's because Wanted have made good aggressive plays themselves, but I also think Freedom are not putting on the pressure enough. They need to, like, be confident and try to go for this stuff, just not obviously group up for like 5-man Black Hole or Chronos or Ghost Ships or whatnot, but
I think Bristol
because they've
just doesn't
waited so
feel-
long, all of the heroes on Radiant have their ultimates. There was definitely a timing window before that where they could have
Oh,
threatened some
man.
towers.
This Bristleback not feeling super tanky against this lineup of Wanted. Oh, there's a Chronosphere on 2. Boat is going to connect. That is a bye-bye Pugna. Keeper of the Light in the meantime. Going to get a nice blinding light. Boris trying to right-click, but of course having that mischance. X into egg. They can't attack it. It's only a level 1 egg, but it's not
Shit,
going to
that damage
matter.
from Bristleback.
Bristleback is going down one way or the other. And a Black Hole, in fact, used onto Earthshaker. He gets a nice fissure. Does he have his ult? No, he's only level 5, so that's going to be another kill going the way of Wanted. 10 to 1 of their advantage, 2,400 gold. In meanwhile, top lane, Tomato at least gets a tower.
Yeah. I feel like he should have had a TP and joined his team there. With how far that chase went on, he could have definitely got them some exit kills. Like, Wanted had 3 heroes that dropped to
Oh my.
about 300 health against Ike's Mike. Oh, Kyo's in trouble.
Well, it is a level 5 Earthshaker. Can't block
That was
him off
not
completely.
the Fisher angle, though. I know he's fine.
Yep, QO is definitely fine. Oh, he goes drums first. Okay, I was wondering exactly what build. We see a little bit variations here and here with Kunkka mid.
I don't know how good that is, to be honest. I feel like it doesn't really... Drum was nerfed a while back, and hasn't really been the same item ever since. On a hero like Kunkka, you don't really need the mana when you have both Bottle and Wand. And the attack speed isn't that great for that hero. It's more about the one cleave you see right there, doing a lot of damage. So.
Team Freedom's gonna get the tier
Very
1
nice
tower
fissure.
Very nice. Not quite blocking off completely, but Jo looks to be dead regardless. And QO trying to get through. Finally the fissure's gone. He's gonna have to use his boat for the buff. And a nice Echo Slam by Eagle onto 2. The aggression continues, and Keel can barely move with all these move speed slows. Team Freedom getting a nice couple kills along with the tower, and they've almost evened up this game. Just with, actually, as I say that, top tower's gone. Back to the same lead it was.
It's nice to see them group up and take advantage of the Radiant cooldowns. Heroes on Radiant have basically the call there. Phoenix has no Supernova, there's no Void Chrono, there's no Black Hole. Let's just group up and push towers, and it looked very easy, right? That was the point I had earlier, is that I think they could have done it before the ultis came online as well, but regardless, they're getting the right things done. Wanted still in a pretty good position overall, though. The tier 2s are what will be a lot trickier for Team Freedom to take down, and of course breaking high ground against this Radiant lineup is a nightmare if you don't have a significant lead. That's why they have to build one. Oh, Eagle, that's
he's
not
dead.
the place to be.
At least I think he is. Phoenix has his ult if they initiate any further. Nether Ward is dropped and actually Illuminate from the other side. Eagle might live through this. In fact, he will with the help of IX Mike. Phoenix does get away though. Chessie, Boris keeping their distance. Chessie, of course, no Black Hole for another 45 seconds. IX Mike really going in deep here. Has the Hood of Defiance along with the Treads. Kyo continually getting slowed by the Shakira. Such an annoying hero to play against. No split pushing is happening. All 10 heroes are committed to this mid fight.
Boris!
Boris almost
so
dies but gets out of
close.
Time Walk.
They committed all of their spell bursts to that. I actually think the Veil was not used by BSJ, else he would have died there. Very close to killing the Void. He Time Walks all of the damage off. Now he's ready to go instead.
IX Mike is still just chilling on this cliff. Trying to create some space for them to be able to find an avenue here mid, but we'll see if it ends up being successful or not. Does Team Freedom, like, they have a window like you talked about. Is it beginning now, it seems? Just the 5-man. And perhaps that's the reason for QO picking up an early drums. Like, he wants something quick he can get, a utility item that allows him to perhaps fight a little bit earlier. But maybe there's a better item.
Just get Armlet then, I think, with that logic, I think.
Yeah, perhaps. He's going to go for it
regardless. He went Ags on Gyro. He can do anything.
That's true.
Yeah, well, this push is surely being delayed. Oh, this is very aggressive from PPD. Going in like this.
Oh, he
gets into the ice path.
Oh, he does have Egg to get out of dodge here. Faceless Void. Gets a Chrono onto 2. Sunray. He's going to do a lot of damage. Here's the Torrent into boat. BSJ is going to be the first casualty. A nice Black Hole on 2. And that's 3 dead to start off the fight. Bristleback trying to go for Phoenix, but the Egg comes out, stuns him. And down goes Bristleback as well. So that fight took so long to actually finally begin. And when it does, Wanted just completely dominates it.
It's all about positioning and timing. The Ice Path gets out on the Phoenix, but they don't have any follow-up. The Fissure didn't come in. They didn't get a chance to Echo Slam. And you know, you were saying, is the window opening here for Team Freedom to push? I would argue it's kind of closing. As weird as that sounds 15 minutes in, I just think this is not enough. You know, it's not good enough against this kind of lineup, especially when you're trading this unfavorably in kills. I think what Freedom needs to do is they need to smoke. And they need to try to catch heroes and then convert that into a tower push instead of just 5-manning a tower. It's not happening anymore. Maybe this tier 2 will work because all of the ultimates are on cooldown now, but if they're trading 4 kills every time, they're not winning the game.
Right, and they're going to trade at least some damage on the tier 2 top with PPD pushing the lane to the best of his
And
abilities.
Chessie split pushing bottom. He's closing in on a BKB that they actually can't even counter.
Yeah, that's
These black
true.
holes are going to be super easy to use.
Tier 2 will go down, like you said.
Radiant's middle tower has
But
fallen.
is it enough? No, because it's a trade for Tier 2 top.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Now,
I
are they
kind of
just
like
gonna
it if
like
they
all
just
in
go
mid?
here. I honestly think this is the kind of play that they need.
Radiant's middle
Ultimates are on
tower
cooldown again. Commit really hard. Crash and burn kind of play here. It's what they need.
In a game like this, I know it's kind of like a carry void. Do you think there's benefit for going for something like an AG so that you'd be able to fight without these ridiculously long cooldowns?
Dire's bottom
That
tower
could actually
has
be a choice here with the Kunkka farming as well as he is, and the Enigma. Then you could maybe take that route. The downside is, of course, that sure you may have Chrono, but then the other big ultimates are still on cooldown, even if yours is ready. That's still gonna
BSJ
be
gets
an
caught
issue.
with the Torrent. No mana to use the boat. This QO.
That's a tier 3 though. This is
Yeah, they get the Tier 3 Sunray. And TPs
they can get
are gonna be
shrines now
forced.
at the very least. We might see them retreat to do that. That's going to give them some nice income.
Wanted has returned. Of course,
No, they're
Team Freedom
going on.
should know Black
This is
Hole
going
is
to be
down
hard though.
still.
There's Chrono and Egg again.
Yeah, they have everything up except for Black Hole, which is probably still enough. And Enigma has the completed BKB, which they are probably going to spot right about now. Nice Ice Path onto 2. And here comes the Chronosphere. It's going to be on 2 with the Sunray combination. Down goes Pugna. Boat connects on Jakiro. In fact, Pugna is going to buy back. We'll see how this works out as the Bash is going to connect onto Earthshaker. He is completely stun locked thanks to Ogre Magi. Tomato gets off a decent Ice Path, but it's not enough to save his life. And the
As an
Pugna
X-Mark
buyback
for this
ends up being
guy.
completely
Oh, he didn't get it
wasted.
off? Nope, he didn't get him. Oh, he did? Wow, I didn't hear the sound. Okay. Interesting. Oh, last second catch there for Kyo. So that's another 3 plus a buyback. So that's
Yeah, this is rough.
4 kills again for a tower. They got
I
pretty
thought,
close there though. Unfortunately for them, the melee barracks is what they got close to getting. And that one's healing up. And the push goes the other way. Black Hole wasn't used. Supernova wasn't used. This is
middle tower.
When we
likely to be a
Yes.
Roche after this maybe for the
It's-
Radiant if they want to
It's
try
very
that.
difficult for Team Freedom to come back now. They're down 8,000 gold, 19 minutes in the game. They don't have a late game lineup. You said when you look at these lineups overall at the beginning of the game that they're pretty even. Obviously different windows and whatnot. We're going to have to hold that thought as QO uses his X already to no effect, as Ogre Magi is going to be caught off guard here. BKB popped by Chessie. He has Black Hole if he wants to use it. Egg is going to be forced.
This is actually a really awkward fight for Wanted. They're in a pretty bad position overall.
Chessie, his BKB is already done, so he needs to back. Fissure's going to
Oh,
connect.
the fissure fails.
Yeah, Kyo is able to heal up a bit thanks to the armlet to completely toggle away. Pandam. Pandam PPD. Echo slammed up. In fact, his Icarus dive is going to be canceled. Is he going to live through this? No, but the last right click is going to finish him off. So, Team Freedom does get one. Do they transition to a Roche? Looks like they want to.
It's a bold play.
You have to make bold plays, yeah.
It could work. Obviously, Nasal Goo is very good, but it's level 1, so this takes a while. He has the medallion as well. It helps, but this is a very, very slow Roshan. If Chessie figured this out, he could Midnight Pulse the Roche Pit and probably defend it on his own.
Yeah, let's see if he
And
does
that looks
just that.
like they might actually know. The jig is up here.
Oh, boy.
It's like
Oh boy,
That's
Ike's
not
mic is
happening.
very low. Fissure's gonna block off a couple of nice Ice Path into Dual Breath. Nether Ward is placed on the ground. Chessie, of course, with the BKB, it's gonna be up in 6 seconds, so he can just walk in there if he wants. Smoke, I'm not sure if they saw that. Actually, it is nighttime. Either way, Wanted's gonna play this a little bit passively, knowing that they probably have a very good lead right now.
there's a lens for Pugna.
Oh,
Very
they
nice
just
item for the
smoked up.
hero. It's going to help a lot with his positioning. He's had a hard time in the previous fights with getting Chrono, but it's difficult for Pugna not to get Chrono when he has
Oh,
to
they're gonna
Nether
fight.
Blast.
They're
Good
gonna
values.
fight here. Chessie and QO wrap around from the other side as BSJ tries to run away, probably to no avail. He's gonna get X'd up into a torrent. And away he goes to the grave as looks like Earthshaker also drops his deck. Jo is gonna be the sacrificial lamb for Wanted. Duels onto Chessie. Still has the 9-second BKB to use if he wishes
a
for
courier.
it. Double Chronosphere. They have a black hole if they want. And they're actually gonna use it. Easy kills going the way of Wanted yet again. Tomato tries to use his spells to full effect, but it's going to be to no avail. He's the last remaining member of Freedom. And I would not be shocked with a GG here. But
I
they
think
could
there's
hold
still
down.
play for this. Now all the cooldowns are used. Now you try one last push down mid and see if
Yeah,
you can
perhaps.
get that or get the Roche.
Oh,
It wasn't
boy.
claimed.
Dire's middle tower
Doesn't help that Shaker gets killed here, of course.
Radiant's
It's going to slow
bottom
them down a
tower
bit
is
further.
under attack.
But actually, nah, he's respawned at about the same time as the Jakiro and the Bristle, so...
Yeah, they actually
Alright.
do respawn quite fast in general.
But yeah, Wanted are
Dire's
dominating
middle
this
tower
game.
has fallen.
These big items on Kyo are going to start becoming a really big problem for this Dire lineup, because the way they've itemized is that they've bought very cost-efficient early magic resistance and armor. And guess who doesn't give a crap about that? That's right, it's your boy Kunkka with
Yep.
this Crystallis. He's actually going to cleave some of their heroes down to half HP with one crit. When that turns into a Daedalus, more than likely, that's going to be a really, really big issue for them.
Ooh, interesting. So Boris had a Blink Dagger queued up, but ends up going for a Shadow Blade instead. What are your thoughts?
A little bit more carry-oriented. If Team Freedom can't really split push, you know, it's generally a good item to counter split push, so you can catch heroes when they're on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
I think he was just thinking, okay, I need to initiate. Realistically, though, do I need a blink, or can I go for something that gives me more damage? Just bought a damage alternative. I think it's fine.
We have a potential
Here we go.
last-ditch effort
Last
from
hurrah
Freedom.
here. This is a
They
Hail
popped
Mary.
the-
I know you
is that
like
a
that
fight?
reference because it
I
sounds
do.
like NFL.
That's great. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you for
you're welcome.
catering
Oh,
to our
PPD is
American
caught.
audience. Oh, PPD doesn't have egg for another 2 seconds. Gonna get Yules'd up. Doesn't have mana to use right now. Echo Slam's gonna be used on, I believe, one hero, and he's just gonna backtrack most of the damage. Jo, nice use of the Shrine, gonna force IX Mike into a terrible position. Has almost no mana. This
Chrono's up
Diffusal
now.
Blade is doing absolute work. It's a 1-for-1. A core Jakiro for a support Phoenix. And the fight will
This is not
continue.
done
Kyo
yet.
jumps in.
Mech Kyo is more than fine here.
Yeah, this is. I don't know how you fight this if you're Freedom. No, they can try for the high ground game now. They have Keeper of the Light after all, and Jakiro. But what are they delaying for? You know?
Exactly, that's the problem. They have weaker late game. If Wanted just want to play it slow, they can. Their late game AoE ulti combo is absolutely exceptional. The Void and Enigma together is a very difficult hero combination to fight into super late game, especially when they both start getting items like Refresh Orb. You can't really get out of position in any way. Even at one core, getting out of position can just get Chrono and killed.
Oh, Tomato gets off some nice spells. Boris is just sitting here invis. Gets a Chrono onto 2. Didn't even see the second hero, but Earthshaker's gonna pop like nothing. Keeper of the Light's gonna be next on the list. Bristol back. You are not tanky against all this farm from Boris. And GG's are gonna come out, so Wanted will move on to the next stage of the tournament, which they'll face up against the loser of Complexity. And who the fuck is playing? Onyx, that's right. The Bulba team. How could I forget? My goodness. But yeah, this game 3 unfortunately was a stomp. I
And
thought
the
it would.
beatdown.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what would you have done differently if you were Team Freedom?
I don't necessarily think this is a brutal outpick. I just think they got out-executed really hard, both by Wanted and by missing their own timing. The way Wanted put the lanes with just putting Void solo bottom was very clever, because generally what Coddle Bristle wants to do is they want to counter a duel or even a tri-lane, like really hurt the enemy economically, but they just don't send heroes there. The Void is just soaking and getting a bit of farm. I think if what Freedom should have done is they should have grouped up earlier, used the moment they get good levels on Pogna and Jakiro, they need to start pushing down towers, pressuring out, warding the map, and then eventually trying to get Erosion going high ground. But it's difficult. If they make just a couple of mistakes and have a couple of bad fights, their lineup just falls off so hard that they can't really come back, and that's what we kind of saw here.
All right, so that does it for us as casters. We're going to retire forever now. The next series, of
Yep.
course, is going to be Complexity versus Onyx. Of course, we're going to go to a quick break. Cinder, do you have any last words before nobody hears from you again?
Goodbye.
We will be back shortly. Remember